Hey guys, yeah, welcome back in, 2 o'clock. Let's get going into the final couple hours here as we head towards what's setting up to be at least yet another positive session here for the overall market. I was just having a look at some of the sectors. This one's standing out a little bit here. Semiconductors are green on the day, but NVIDIA lagging some of the other ones. I'll show you the board in a second. 0.8 right now for NVIDIA. AMD up better part of 2.5% on the session, having quite the afternoon. So we'll talk about that coming up. Yeah, this LTRY going crazy. It's 1.8 million shares. So teeny tiny little float helping with this squeeze to the upside. The fundraising announcement a couple of days ago, they get the confirmation coming through. So we'll see where this one ends up. Little tiny low float runner this afternoon. Here's the board, as I was mentioning. AMD standing out as far as individual semiconductor names are concerned. 2.5% for INTC, NVIDIA as well. AMD I meant, not NVIDIA. 0.9 for NVIDIA, Broadcom 0.7. Apple negative on the day so far, only just 0.4 to the downside, but has been a red session so far for Apple. Microsoft just went green again. I saw 0.09 there to the upside. 1.2 meanwhile for Google, having quite the day. CRM back to the upside in a big way. Upgrade this morning. We may touch on that. Meta and Oracle having a pretty good day as well. Yeah, Tesla 1.8%, pretty good day. If you missed it, Kathy Wood and Elon going to sit down in a Twitter or X, my apologies, Spaces after the close tonight at 5 o'clock to discuss, I don't know, how she likes her Model 3, I guess. I'm not sure, but I'll tune into that to see what they do talk about. Micron was top of the list this morning. If you joined us in the pre-market, MU coming off a better than expected report. It was a loss, but the forecast coming in a little bit hotter than everyone was pointing to, and demand for their memory chips specifically going to the upside going into Q1 of next year. So there's the overall market. Even with this big ugly red candle, we're still kind of chopping around at the bottom end of the range. If you flip over to the NASDAQ real quick here, a little bit better off, but same story. Big ugly red candle yesterday brings us right back down to prior support. We're within that range. And then some, guys, as we get into some semiconductor talk here. Again, NVIDIA lagging a little bit overall.
Yeah, NVIDIA not exactly participating with whatever party there is going on, and most of that party was AMD. I suppose, well, we'll start with Micron, but I guess we'll end up talking about AMD maybe a little bit, because Micron, I thought there'd be at least some kind of an outside day on Micron, so first shot was looking for it to break out the top. As you can see, it gapped to the upside. It was up. It's still up 7%, but it's not really broken the range. Gap to the upside, took an 85 reclaim of the high. It went like 40 cents in the money. Thought we'd get $1 out of it, and then immediately fell back under 85. Had a bit of a scalp trade here around VWAP, and then that's it. Like Micron, I don't want to call it a nothing burger, because if you bought it yesterday, of course you're up 7%, but it stunk. Is a trade, unless you were looking for that 83 bottom, which checks notes. Neil, you said you'd buy 83 bottom and you didn't, so that's what we should have done, is wait around for the absolute bottom, but the top break was no good. It was in and out very, very quickly for a 20-cent hit. The strong stock in terms of the semis has been AMD for most of the morning, and it's holding on to VWAP as we speak. I did have a long off the highs, 139.15 into the 50 level, and then that stopped back out underneath 139.10, but VWAP holding pretty nicely on advanced micro devices. So good day for AMD, although this last little move that the market's been putting in, AMD's been sitting it out, which is weird, because AMD was strong all morning. So if it needs to hold on to VWAP here, otherwise this is just another on a long list of names that's trending in the wrong direction currently. And one note, Coinbase is moving. You'll see I'm only in Nikola, kind of re-entered Nikola, but Coinbase was a new one. That's breaking toward the high of the day. It's a triple top if it does, and I'm getting out if it gets there.
All right. Yeah, we don't have any trades today unfortunately, on any semis. You know, NVIDIA at 500 is always going to be something that's going to be interesting to me. We're not there yet. You know, you did have a move earlier to 491. That's not 500, so we'll pass on that. AMD for me is, again, you know, I was still waiting for 40. I still think we can get to 40 right now. You know, that's going to be a level. We were pretty much right there again today. So let's just be patient with everything and just do what we keep saying we're going to do. Wait for levels to come in. Oh no, I did not trade Intel. Oh no, I forgot about that one. That would have been one. This was on the stick, you know. Let's talk about this. Ooh. Okay, this is right at 47. This is what we want right now. We want this short. I should be short Intel right now. So, all right, we're going to review this, but I like this Intel short up here. It looks like maybe the short, like we missed it right there. We would much rather prefer, again, this is a sticky note name that we had on, so we've been watching out for Intel here too. You can go find this, obviously, on @TraderTV Sean right there. But yeah, this is a good little level. I feel like I should be short at some point here on Intel. So let's get ready to maybe put that on. I'm going to do a little bit of work, but I do like this at 47.
Oh yeah, go back to.
Pretty uneventful so far today. Right back to 194 right now and kind of just hanging out there. It's worth noting across the board, every single one of these that I bring up, volume at the bottom of the board here, pretty, Fabian, thank you, pretty low across the board. So as expected going into the holiday, all of these big tech names lower than usual volume. But we're talking about this AI angle for Apple this morning, if you were with us. Financial Times reporting that they too are, of course, working on their own large language model, specifically going to tailor it, I guess, to be available and work well on mobile devices, phones, tablets, iPads, things like that. So, of course, they're going to join this race. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah, we were joking in the morning saying, I hope they make Siri better because it's not very good compared to some of its competitors. So that's the headline there. I don't have too many details with respect to what they're going to do with the LLMs, but the other headline for Apple is the decision that they lost with the ITC, the International Trade Court in the States. So they're going to be banned essentially from selling the Apple Watch 9 and the Apple Watch Ultra 2. As of today online and as of Sunday in stores. So if you're looking for getting that for somebody for Christmas, the window is really closing.
Yeah, that could be a bigger deal over time, obviously going into Christmas as well. A lot of people are going to be shopping for those, but who knows if they can, you know, rectify that with a software update or something quick that they can just roll out to get beyond that patent dispute. But yeah, not good. A little negative, guys, for Apple today.
So people are going to buy it next year. I mean, look, it sucks. I mean, obviously for anybody that was looking to pick it up, that's not necessarily the best news. We sort of felt that Apple off the 200 level for the last little bit, and then later the 198 was hitting a resistance spot and trending down. Whoops, let me just do this. Don't need that to be shown on every single window. There, quick little fix there. See, that's how I always slide back and forth to each one of these individual charts. But since it got to the 200 top, or at least tested the double top, it's been fading. This catalyst just gave another reason for it to go short. It never got to 98 this morning, so you can throw that out. But it did get to 97, which is where all that mess started at 2 o'clock yesterday. That's the thing about like whatever you want to call the move yesterday, the pullback or the drop, whatever it is. Levels like that, where you bottom out and where it start, can turn into significant levels the next day. So that was probably your best opportunity to short it, would have been right when it got to that previous price where things rolled over at 2 yesterday at 97. I didn't have it, so I waited for the first available pop. That was back into the pre-market low, 195.5, held till 194. And oddly enough, 194 quarter, if you look at it now, that looks like a pretty good resistance spot. There might be a scalp trade in there. It's far from VWAP. I much prefer if this was doing it at VWAP and you can get 95. But a scalp trade off 94 might make some sense here. So Apple, I think it's in a bit of a garden variety, you know, pullback off of resistance from a recent double top on the high, and the trend is slightly to the downside, and participating in that is what's been working recently. So I think you just do that regardless of catalyst until it breaks this trend.
I've been messaging with a Miss Danielle Shea, who wants to come back on the show and should be coming back on pretty soon. We do have some very, very exciting news. Those of you that have been a fan of this show for a long time, Trader TV Live, an oldie but a goodie I have invited back on to the recap show. It will be exciting, And it's going to be Raider Trader. He's going to come back on Wednesday. So we're going to have Raider Trader back on next Wednesday. I'm excited for it. We have just now the show is leveling up. We have so many guests coming on that Brendan and I going back and forth here trying to figure out the days to have them come on. And I want to always have Michael Noss coming through on Mondays, but he may get bumped, and Brian Shannon on Tuesdays. We're really super happy with him. Chris, Tammy, Danielle coming through. JC wants to come on. Gunjin we're talking to. So it's going to be good. But guys, trust me, bro. It'll be a great show on Wednesday. So shout out to Raider Trader right there. It should be exciting to have him on. Just another perspective. He's always welcome. So that should be fun. What are we talking about? Apple. Okay, I didn't trade Apple today, but we did put on a new trade right now, Palantir. So we just put on Palantir here. I don't, it could barcode the rest of the afternoon. So I'm going to get out if we take too much above where we are right now, the 60-62 level. So we're going to watch out for that on Palantir. And then I did just start a baby position on Intel. I want to get one more fill. I think it's right about here. Yeah, 85s. So that's the high of the day. If we continue to take it out, like Neil was mentioning, trust me, I'll take it out if it breaks above 47. So far so good, guys. Let's wait to see. But Apple, it's the exact same trade. Oh yeah, by the way, just in case you guys were wondering, we just got out of our JP Morgan trade. That was 168 all the way down here to 166. So that's $2, but we got out of it because it broke above our rule there, the 50-period MA on that one. Okay, so Apple, We gave this trade to you a couple days ago. It's been here since it's been here. And that is just shorting this 198 and 200. It's a pretty simple trade if you have the risk up to these levels, because it's not going to break 200 today. It's not going to break 200 tomorrow. So as long as you're somewhere around there, I feel pretty confident that these shorts are going to work. So it's a good one right off the jump there at 197. So it didn't get to 198, so I stayed away. I'm trying to get out. You can see the positions that I have right now. There's just a lot of nothing going on here. Most of the positions I have are from the morning and probably looking to reload them. Just letting this market try to settle down now, because the NASDAQ is just doing this. So we had a flush right there, bought back with decent volume. So I'm wondering if we can get, I feel like we'll test back into here, 16,830, something like that, which is why I just put on those two shorts. But then because the volume came in and bought that spike at 16.8, I feel like that could be possibly a bottom that we're looking at here today. So, all right, let's go back over to the desk and talk about some US EV makers.
Yeah, we were talking about this Chinese angle this morning in the sense that U.S. government could put some tariffs on Chinese exports of EVs. I mean, there's a few other things as far as Tesla is concerned. There was this note I was reading over lunchtime. This 4680 battery that's going into the Cybertruck, apparently they're struggling pumping those out. And this, yeah, just suggesting the fact that this $250,000 or 250,000 unit goal by 2025 might be in jeopardy if they can't figure out how to make the batteries faster and get them pumping out as well. Obviously, we said the Cathie Wood Elon talk going on tonight. That'll be interesting to see what they have to discuss. But I mean, she's in there buying, as we said too.
Yeah, he made no bones about it on the call that the unit economics required him to mass produce the Cybertruck in order for it to be profitable. Otherwise, it's going to be a loss for him. So we're going to have to see how quickly he can scale up. But he obviously has a lot of experience doing that in the past. With respect to the tariffs, Brendo, very interesting look. It looks like the U.S. government taking the same approach that Europe is with respect to tariffs on Chinese EVs. Europe was alleging that they were receiving unfair subsidies from the Chinese government. I haven't heard that allegation coming from the state side, but we're going to have to wait and see. There's not too many, though. I got to tell you, I haven't seen any Chinese EVs on the road here, and I don't know what their export market is in the States.
Yeah, zero, to be honest. I don't know. You were obviously tied up during the midday, but there was that headline on BYD. I was trying to find it here. BYD looking at putting a battery plant in Europe as well. So there's that angle. 2.2 here, guys, for Tesla.
Strong day for Tesla. I'll get to a couple of trades there, but I just got trailed out of Coinbase. There was a bit of a, I don't know, it wasn't a big volume spike, but we broke consolidation on coin here. It was more of a VWAP breakout trade that could not get to the high of the day, so it broke out consolidation, and I just got out. If it gets to the high, maybe there's a short up there, but that was just the last execution for me. And Tesla, two trades on Tesla, one of which was on size, the other was a dip buy planned off the 50 level. So Tesla, the 250, It was a late day resistance level looking for support play. It broke 250, bounced off the half, and then once it was consolidating above the half, took the long, and then it just instantly almost broke, not instantly, but it took like a couple of minutes, broke that local bottom. So it was in that bounce off of 249 half above 250, long above 250, and then out 249 half. The funny thing about it is like right after that happened, about 10:30, you double bottomed that same consistent level, and you got right back up to the top. The one short you'll see at 53 had nothing to do with 253 even. There was a size buyer at 252.91, and when it broke, I just shorted it and scalped it for like 40 cents. So you see this short in there, but it has nothing to do with anything technically. There was just a big buyer that got taken out, and I just took advantage of shorting it and scalping right out of it. Sometimes you see that on the level too, and it was going right to the even, and then this guy shows up. It's like if this guy gets filled, you're risking 10 cents. So that's what I did. But this 53 seems like it's a pretty good level. I just got into Nikola again. That's the other EV that I'm in. This was a load. This was a fail of the $1 level. Now that chart's messed up. This was a fail of the $1 level yesterday, then failed 90 cents, shorted 87 on the way back. I just trailed out 84 and then re-entered. Because you know what? 84 was yesterday's bottom. So if it's going to wick me out there, I'm going to re-enter the 84 level. If it takes out 84 half, I'm out of Nikola. But this troubled EV name did not get any relief rally today.
All right, we're just in the money now, 30 cents. Spin it. We just took Tesla right now. Thanks for having the rundown there, Brendo. I actually forgot about Tesla. Tesla just came right back again. This was one of two red stocks for us earlier in the morning as we did go short, or sorry, we went long off of what we thought was going to hold at 250. Right? But again, here we go. I want to be short, so let's pick some names here that could fall back into something like a VWAP. So something like a phenomenon, maybe not. But right now, we're going to watch out to see what happens with Tesla. We are now short. You could see 22s. That's what we took. We took 20 cents. We just got out at 253.02. And I don't know if it's going to drop out, but we're not going to be in this for too much longer. 253.50. If we break that, we're gone. I don't mind it. It's the 50 period right here on the 20-minute chart. So we're just going to try to trade this, see if it happens, man. We did break through the 50 period a couple times right there and back in again. But let's just play sort of these tops here. And I don't want to hold it all the way to 254. So we're going to take a small position here heading into the close. Well, it's not the close yet, but heading into the close here today. So we're now short Tesla. It's 20 cents in the money. We did get more shares here on Palantir, but our stop is still 62 on Palantir. So we're short at 58, stop at 62. You know, it's not going to be super exciting here on Palantir when our stop is 4 cents away, right? Or yeah, 4 cents and change away. So we need this to drop down a little bit and we'll get some more out on this. But yeah, so far so good here. Intel, we've been unable to get a fill closer to 47 for those of you asking, because I know there's some of you that are talking about that level. But all right, so that's all. So we wait. We wait for this market to do a little bit of a dance, and we'll go talk again about Spotify.
All right. I was just looking into this. Neil, you're asking about SE, which is C Limited, which is a Singapore software company. So e-commerce firm ShopE buys credit arm from Brazil's Warburg Pincus. 7 degrees of C Limited. C Limited owns ShopE. So they bought someone, long story short. There's also a bit of a short percent on this, so just be careful for anyone looking at this SE going crazy right now. Pretty ugly daily chart, but I was just looking at Spotify. There wasn't really much to do with Spotify today as well. There was an upgrade this morning to buy on Shopify. We get a little bit of a gap up, and that just kind of went sideways all day.
Yeah, it's not much of a mover today, Brendo.
For Spotify.
Yeah, Pivotal Research upgrading it from buy to hold, increasing its price target from 170 to 265, saying essentially that they won the audio streaming content war, allowing continuing generating solid unit growth or average revenue per user. Also, they're focused heavily on driving EBITDA, and that's a step in the right direction according to them.
Yeah, yeah, Spotify, obviously, not Shopify. Just hearing something else on oil just popping up here as well, guys. So just a heads up. Yeah, this SE, there was a little bit of deal-making news on this.
Yeah, that's actually, it's a bigger float than I thought, that SE. 500 million. I kind of looked at it and was like, oh, it's probably got a relatively small float, but no, 500 million float for that C Limited. Good move, but there's probably nothing going on with Spot unless it takes out 194. So good level, I suppose, but yeah, that's a lot of sideways action on Spotify. It feels like it's in a bit of a pullback, and if it doesn't hold on to this 90 level in the next couple of days, I could easily see this pulling back in the 50 period. It failed 200 several times, but that is the definition of, I mean, it's not really barcoding, but it's an inside day on 700,000 worth of volume. So unless this one breaks out in the afternoon, there's probably not much to do there. Just a note, I am actually looking for that Apple. We're trying to get Apple on the bottom of this consolidation. Shorting the bottom of this consolidation here on Apple. You just want to fill above 194 because 194.30 has been the local high. But yeah, no real trade on Spotify. And I'd be concerned if it doesn't hold on to these levels in the next week. It could be due for a bit of a pullback.
So we just put on that Palantir, and that went to 62. We got stopped out of that one. Not a heavy position, but Tesla right here, still trying to bounce around 253. So 253.50 just hit. We got some out. We're still in this. So that wasn't good, but we took 20 cents and lost 20 cents. So let's just wait for Tesla one more time up to that 253. I mean, what are these futures really going to do?
Not much.
Like, I don't want to. That's the thing. I don't want to put a lot of risk into really any of these trades. If something really lines up and the futures can get, like, I feel like if the futures can get up here, then maybe we'd be looking for a short. I just don't know. It doesn't really feel like this is a short. It's not a short week, but I was gonna say it kind of feels like a little bit of a short week. So we got to try to play a little bit of momentum when it happens and maybe not try to shoot the moon here in the afternoon. So here we go, man. We're another 20 cents in the money on this one. I'm bidding 05s now for Tesla, but I might just take a piece out here because, again, if we're going to lose 20 cents, we might as well make it, right? When it comes in again. So there it is. We'll bid 14s and we'll take a piece out. So now let's just cancel that 05. Oh, I was going to say let's cancel that 05, but let's not. Again, spend a little bit of money for Tesla as now it's starting to head a little bit back and forth to the downside here. And again, this is just trying to hold on. So let's try to do that. What is this level here? 50s, 60s? All right, we'll sit sub 253 and see if we can get something. Plus, we just got our Intel as well. I have not looked at Spotify today, so I'll just go with the levels that Neil was talking about.
All right, I forgot to mention, but Frank Kaberna coming up this afternoon in a few minutes here. We'll talk about this GDP print that we got this morning, if you missed it. Lower than forecast, but still very, very strong, 4+% to the upside for the final Q3 GDP print. There's new rate projections from the FOMC Fed Funds tool, so we'll talk about that with Mr. Kaberna coming up here in about 20 minutes or so. I just checked. I mean, here's, where did it go? I had Bitcoin. There's Bitcoin. That's a 15-minute chart of Bitcoin. So, I mean, pretty flat all day long, really not doing a heck of a lot. Mara, on the other hand, right back to yesterday's highs. If you were with us yesterday, we touched on that upgrade that it got, but Mara doing Mara things again today.
Well, it's still reeling after the company entered into 2 definitive agreements earlier this week to acquire 2 Bitcoin mining sites. The 2 sites are supposed to add about 390 megawatts of capacity. They already have about 584, so add to that. Makes them one of the biggest players in the game, Brendo, and the market's rewarding them.
Yeah, pretty impressive, to be honest. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 potentially days in a row here for MARA.
So just one
Some
thing.
excitement there.
There's size on CCL. CCL's got 160,000 on the offer. I'm just going to get to this very quickly. So this is CCL level 2, and there's 160,000 sitting on MEMX. It's been a strong stock, but it just made that move into the downside. I just took 19s. I'm going to risk like 2 cents on this trade. If it breaks, well, okay, if it breaks 20, I'll try to get 20 or 21. So I'm hoping to risk 2 cents, probably 3 or 4 max, and then see if we can't get down into view up. So that just happened. CCL reporting this morning, oh, the guy's gone. And I just punched out flat. So that size disappeared, and I punched out flat. But going back over to Mara, we were just in Coinbase, and Mara is right at yesterday's top. 24, I have 24.13 here. It just broke it by a couple of cents and it's starting to come back in. If it can hold above 24, this could be a nice little continuation play, maybe breaking into 24.5 or something else. I had one long in here, 23.5, scalped some out for a win, then took the hit when it came back through the 50 level. But this is stair step up. It's up 9%. I just want to see it hold this 24 level. If it starts to have buyers above, then I might look for the long. We were just trailed out of Coinbase on a not similar play. Like that was VWAP into the highs, but it could not break out. So I think this is getting back. This is weaker. It's getting back into VWAP on Coinbase, whereas Mara is the strong one. So I think stick with Mara. If it can hold above 24, I'll look for some longs there. The weird thing is CCL, that short was just fine. But, I mean, I punched in because of the size. So it doesn't matter whether it would work post facto, as Sharif would say. Yeah, I punched in because of that size there. The second the guy pulled, I just punched out flat.
All right. Look, we had Mara early, and we had Mara yesterday, which was great yesterday. I can't say the same for today. It's going to be one of two negative stocks here for us as we go here today. And unfortunately, it's like I was just trying to play off some of those lows, and we actually zoomed that back into yesterday, and I should have done a little bit better and not gotten out so quickly on that one, because yesterday's bottom 22, but I didn't really want to I didn't really want to risk all of that. You know, so I feel pretty good getting out where I did, because otherwise I probably would have chosen 50s to get out. And we broke that. We went down into the 40s. So I'm pretty happy with all this. Sucks where it is right now, but you know what? That's trading. You know, like we're hitting this Tesla. We were just 50 cents in the money, and I blinked at it, didn't even think about taking it. So we're gonna wait for 252.60, see if that could come through. And then this is what I mean about getting out pretty quickly. Palantir is still doing absolutely nothing. So let's just wait on trades and make sure that they can come through. We still got Disney, Affirm. Man, that Affirm trade has been so good, man. This one, like all the trades that you're gonna see me do for the majority when they're big positions are going to be off the jump. You know, right now, unless I see something like maybe we did yesterday, where in that move down, we had Meta, Shopify, Affirm, something else, you know. But for right now, it's like, okay, you just want to hang around VWAP? I mean, we're going to need to break something if the market's going to go. And for right now, Christmas, Santa Claus rally starts tomorrow. So maybe they're getting it early right now. So let's just wait to see if anything comes through now. But yeah, we are pretty close to getting stopped out. I mean, we only have literally 5% left of Affirm. I was kind of holding it to see if and when it ever sort of flashed back in up here. So maybe we'll just wait on that. But I still do like Affirm at these levels. But that's Mara and Bitcoin. Bitcoin right now, 43.47. And the thing about Bitcoin, and I think we're pretty much done now, so thanks for that. Look at some of these other names here that have been sort of going off this week, right? I mean, you have right now Solana. What was that? Oh, nothing. Okay, good. So Solana right here, 27% over the last 7 days, including 12 yesterday. So that's obviously a big number there to look at.
That and Avalanche.
Yeah, that and Avalanche starting to go. We're in Cardano, of course, 61 cents. I mean, that's been absolutely fantastic. Dogecoin, I mean, some of these other ones, Polkadot. I mean, they're all just here. Oh, what's that one down there? 19. Oh, Rallycoin. I was watching some of these stupid coins back in the day, but it's Ethereum 22. I mean, you know, can't be upset with that number. And then BTC as well, 43.5. So it's been a good little run. And I do have to tell everybody something. I ended my journey with a positive trade there, because I got out of HUD 8. So I got out of HUD 8 at lunchtime, right around, that's not the HUD 8 chart. Oh, yes, it is. Right around here, 12, I think it was 12.85. Or so. So basically whatever the price is right now. Like I said, I do not understand the relationship here. So since that's the case, then I'm just going to get out. Like, well, I don't understand why it went down to $9, and over the last 5 days, it went up 40%. So for me, it's like, no way. We'll get out of that right now. And again, we don't have it from down here. This is a reverse split, but the total profit on it was not bad. It was 17.2%. So we rang the register on that, got it out of there as a swing trade for HUD. We just started getting that a while ago. So
I didn't realize you were talking about the personal account. I was like, oh, HUD.
Yeah. I should short it today, but I guess there's enough there. We talked about this earlier.
What's the volume on that thing, though?
4, 5. So yeah, so million. So right there, we should have shorted it. We had that opportunity. We talked about it earlier, but I got out of my own personal account anyways. All right, let's go over deal with some business.
We have a great opportunity for you over the holidays to do some back testing, do some research, and hey, why not pick up $2,200 on an Amazon gift card as well. It's the last day today. This ends today, the 21st. So go take advantage of this right now. TraderTV.live will get you 25% off as well. Scan that QR code, bottom right corner. Again, get $2,200 on an Amazon gift card if you're first in their portfolio challenge, and you have, well, 2 hours left. So YOLO time, guys.
Long in lottery.com.
Yeah, people took the lottery on that one, so I think that's
what's hilarious is, I mean, I'm assuming you can just do that. I don't see why in a portfolio challenge they're not going to bar that, but it's probably too late for lottery.com. You got to try something else. That's my guess. It was just a question about, well, someone just asked me what I thought about Apple short, and really it's just, okay, well, 194.25. Look at the range on Apple. So if I like to short in a general sense, then short the top, which is fills above 194, and try to scalp it and try to hold on to some for the bottom. I think that's the name of the game. The other thing that could be coming in will be AMD, if it'll load up here. AMD at VWAP, like it did one big bounce off VWAP here, 138.60, which was also support earlier in the day. Now it's just gently holding above. So I'd look for this to spike down and maybe give a fill off that 60 level and then go for the scalp trade on AMD. So I do want the re-entry back into Apple. We haven't been short this one for a while, but I do like it. And someone said, why not short Mara with what Bitcoin is doing? I just think Coinbase is a bit weaker. Not nearly as strong. It never broke. You know, Mara broke yesterday's high. Bitcoin did not break yesterday's high. Mara got to today's highs. Obviously, you're making lower highs on Coinbase. If I had to pick one of these two, Bitcoin's falling back. You know, I'd just rather take a shot, maybe shorting off the 168 in Coinbase, which, you know, just to me looks a little bit relatively weak compared to Mara. But I suppose they're likely to move at least remotely close to each other. Just my preference would be to short coin. I was long it, but if we're not going to be breaking tops on BTC, you can look short coin. If you guys see anything that's moving, holla at me. I have a scanner up, like a Momo scanner up there, and not really seeing anything that's hitting. The last couple of names that hit the top, one of them hadn't even done 1 million shares in volume. So looking for some names that are going to make some runs here that can give you some more trading opportunities. Lottery.com looks like it's done.
Yeah, we just gave a bunch of guys some trading opportunities right there. And it's a chicken dinner winner, despite today was chicken there for sure. But there's 71 cents on Tesla. Like, I mean, we're sitting here like taking hits and then boom, 71 cents. So every single one of these outs is only 20%. So it's not like, you know, we're getting out of everything. I'm just trying to wait to see if there is going to be a flush, but we did talk about bidding 65 right into that level. And people always are asking, like, you know, what are some of the reasons you trade? Why are you getting in? And it's very, very simple, man. It's support and resistance. I don't really do anything else. So there it is, Tesla. Again, I try to look at the relationship of the stock with the market right now, and this was not lead for a short, which is why I'm like, I think Tesla might be a long. Remember, like we started the day trying to go long here before screwing. This is still a red. Like, I don't know why we only have a few red names, but I go back to the red name to trade it, and it's not to try to get it green or anything. We talked about Tesla, and it just came into a level here that I thought maybe we could short, so we did that. But then it's still above VWAP, above the 200 period. So this one I feel like we have to be sort of super patient with right now. Here we go. So what's up, Elon? Yesterday, you know, on a day like this, is scalping the best strategy? I mean, a day like this, I mean, most of the days are like this, where you get the afternoon, not much happening, and you get some good action, like really good action off the open, where you hit highs twice and then faded both times off there, and then you got a nice little bottom. So I would say, to answer your question, Elon, right there, yeah, I mean, I don't really change how I trade pretty much ever. So the only thing I was going to say is there was another question up here, and now here it is right here. What's up? No, it's not Alan Smith. I will talk about that. Level 3 data? Well, this is level 2 data. Hold on a second. Anyways, it was, there it was. Here it is right here. What's up, Harry Lou? Do you find the percentage moves? Oh, you know what? I think I got to type in here. So you guys can tag me. All right, there we go. I just typed in there. Do you find the percentage moves get less starting today until after the new year? No. So The stat is that the Santa Claus rally happens 77% of the time. It starts tomorrow, and the average move in the S&P is 2.7% in 5 days. So that's aggressive. So I feel the opposite way for that. So I have not studied it. I don't know anything. But this time yesterday, the market was absolutely collapsing, and I had Obi over here having heart palpitations, right? So you have to.
Is he really?
Yeah, you have to understand that, like, the market is not going to. What's up, Obi? That's my guy right there. How are you doing today? Yeah, we could all be doing better. Anyways, so that's my guy there. He'll be on with Neil tomorrow. Anyways, to answer your question there, Harry Lou, no, I think you trade the exact same. The only thing that I do in the afternoon, and it kind of backfired yesterday, but not on Meta because we had a lot of shares there, but was to trade a little bit lighter, until you get something. When we had that retest of Affirm yesterday, that was a good reload spot because we already had the momentum. So when Affirm yesterday, here, let me call up Affirm real quick here for you. We have Frank coming on in 10 minutes, so that's the real stuff. Okay, so right here. So you see when we had this move, we were short Affirm up here. We were short 50, so we had $5, right? Could this happen today? Yes, it can. But we also reloaded, Harry and Alan and everybody in the chat. We also reloaded right here. Because we had the momentum to the downside. We had a lot of volume. Look at the volume. We had volume picking up, and then we had our own strategies. We're here 21 years. Not going to sit here and lose every day, or at least try not to. So that strategy right there, we back tested. We used the 50 period, and then we hit that for another $2 short again. But you need the momentum to happen in this market. And by the way, here we go. Hopefully Intel can now start to make that move down. Look at this. The average is starting to work out. Now we'll come back in. We're at the 50 period, and it's another one right now. So hopefully that will come back in for us, and Intel will fade the rest of the day. But the market has been pretty quiet for right now. Let's go Intel. Bring it back down to Whoville.
Horton always hears a who.
Yeah,
My daughter
he sure
loves
does.
that. My daughter loves that book. She's all about the Grinch. The Grinch movies are all fantastic, but to me the best one is always going to be the recent animated one. It's pretty jokes. The Jim Carrey one is just too scary for some kids. You just mentioned Intel. Micron just got to 85, and by 85 I mean 84, 95. Or actually, you know what? I actually saw 99s. It looks like it got to 84, 99. I think if the market's not going to move, I'm just looking for any kind of a curl off of this high. So this is where it failed a breakout. I was in the 85 breakout earlier, and it failed that level, and you're getting right back into it. So I want to take this curl back in on Micron. If it's going to hold above, great, but it's starting to slow down as we speak. And obviously, the thing about the final week of the year, and when you talk about levels like this, just got an Apple finally. You talk about levels like and more volatility, the lower volume and less liquidity can create bigger moves when it happens. Like if there's less shares on the bid and the ask when it breaks through those levels, it just can move a little bit more because there's less resistance on those moves, which is why sometimes like the days that you might think are going to be nothing, if it does move, it's fantastic. Think about the Thanksgiving half day. That morning was, any breakout trade that morning was essentially free money, because it was just absolutely flying instantly in the money for you. So Apple just shorting the bottom end of this consolidation. Trying to zoom in so you can see it, but I've got these bad wicks so you can't. 195.25 is that high. Just got some 15s in. The bottom of this range is 193.80. So it's about a 35-cent range on Apple for the last hour. So I want to play inside of that range, favoring the direction that the market has been going on Apple. Got my eyes on Micron. Right now, the bid's holding above 85. But if it starts to show some rejection, I'm just looking to short off the high of the day there on MU.
All right, so, okay, yeah, we did have CCL today. I'm just going to see here because we have Tammy coming through. The Fibonacci Princess joined me today on the market recap show. The last one of the week now. So we'll, okay, hold on a second. Why can't I zoom this out again? All right, well, this is not hitting. Okay, I'll have to figure this out. Here, I'll just go like this. All right, can you still see? Yes, okay, good. So we have, I know this is not very, big or anything. It's hard for you guys to see, but we have Nike aftermarket today with 184 billion market cap. After that, man, it really drops off. We have Cintas, CTAS is that symbol here. Makes my hat. Cintas is there, Paychex there. These were all before market, right? So the only other one after, well, we had Carnival. We'll talk about that in a minute. I haven't traded that yet today. And the other one is AAR Corp. Huh? Yeah, never heard of that one. And then Worthington Steel, I have no idea what that is either. So right now, basically one stock to talk about tonight on the Market Recap Show, but, oh, I just closed it, okay. But I do have Tammy coming, and I told her, give the traders an idea. What are you looking at? So she has something for you. It will be on MPC, and we will talk about that stock. And there's one more that is a widely traded and widely held name. So, of course, that one's Marathon Petroleum, MPC. She's thinking that this is one of the top plays heading into the new year. I'll ask her why for MPC again. You know, we've seen the way oil's been moving and things like that. So we'll find out why she likes this. And then there's one more name tonight as well. We'll discuss the Santa Claus rally, and we'll be ready to rock and roll there as we always are. Shout out to Bears vs. Bulls and Ramin and or Fabian. Who's going to be staying with me tonight? It's Ramin. Yes, my favorite.
Oh,
Right, Fabian.
well,
Right. Right there.
Ram is everybody's favorite, though. That's what I feel. The crowd loves Ram. By the way, I did get Micron back at that 85 level, underneath that 85 temporarily, but it just took out that clean high. There's two things you can do here. Like, you can basically just sit it out or just look for those quick little opportunities. It got above 85, made a 5 high, 85.05, came back under, short 98 to the local high, looking for a pullback, not even a VWAP there. So I'm looking at try to find something with a tight stop or try to find something at a big level, but don't try to force things. Like, I'm not going to go long Micron 85 up here too far away from VWAP. I'm going to look for that pullback play that if it starts to go, it can get back into VWAP and we can be patient with it. I saw McBenz, Mr. Mems in there. Lucid hitting resistance. I like Lucid shorts in a general sense, but that's not moving today. Like, Lucid really tight. Nothing happening on the stock. This has been ugly for it, but unless it's going to break out here somewhere, that's been a nothing burger. Yesterday, obviously, price action, and it's had some moves the last couple of days, but I'm not really seeing it. RS saying Microsoft, would you short it? I had a Microsoft short earlier.
Microsoft, yeah.
I was short Softy off the 71 level, the first time good to 70, and then the second time stopped out for like a 30-cent hit, but not yet. I think if you go back to about 10:30, this was like 372.5, so it probably needs to pop up there or to the 73 level. So there's levels up there that look like fades on Microsoft, but not really yet. The market is starting to tick to the upside here, so I'd be patient, like quick little in and out. So if I held on to Micron, it's just one another 10 cents. No need to do that. But I don't think you also need to just jump into this short because it's consolidating somewhere. You know, that could lead to it just absolutely flying. Gurjeet saying that Baba is flying.
Oh, I love that name, though.
The problem, it is going. What's this chart? Alibaba, yeah. The high 76 looks like a big level here on Alibaba. That's the week's high. So yeah, that's a good one. Usually Chinese ADRs in the afternoon are a no-fly zone, but this is up 3.5%. It's moving right now. So if it can break out 76, that looks pretty solid. This is what we call like the air is above 76. Next level up, 77.40 on the daily chart. Not that it's going to get to 77.40 very likely, but I don't mind that.
Oh, man. We had a great Alibaba trade yesterday or the day before. It was going long.
It's got to be yesterday. No,
really like it.
2 days ago.
It could have been in the morning. I could find it. What did we have it written down on here? Oh, yeah, I think it was yesterday. Alibaba 73.50. So I think we wound up getting the 74 longs yesterday because it didn't dip into that. Let me see. I can see by the chart right now if we traded this yesterday.
Has to be
no, I think we bought it off this yesterday in and around here. Or no, we took the top yesterday. Actually, I could go find it. We had this long yesterday. I think 74.50 all the way up. We were taking some out in the 75s. Yeah, it was a good trade. But then we didn't break through 75. But we've done that today, up 4%. So yeah, Alibaba, good little move right now. Brendan's still over there, but he's preparing for Frank. I'm going to just have a quick look. So yesterday we did have some negative talk about a possible China-Taiwan and more like, if and buts on that one, just not unconfirmed rumors of some possible hostile talk there from President Xi over there in China. So that started Alibaba to the downside and some of these other names, but none of that was really confirmed. But there it is. And again, look at this. There's the 76 we're talking about. I don't know. It just goes back to that talk that we had before about really trying to break stuff out at 245 on a Thursday. 3 days before Christmas or whatever. So I still think there's going to be a lot of volatility in this market. Right now, I mean, the futures are finally starting to go up. So we actually said we would look for some shorts if we got into this area, because I don't see really, even though Santa Claus rally starts tomorrow, I could see us just kind of starting to fade around off of some of these tops. Because look, high, so we made a higher high there. Obviously, that's the first high. Then a lower high again, then lower, and then lower. And right now, I'm waiting to see if we could test this 16,920. So that's kind of why we're leaning right now on this Intel short, and then just waiting for Affirm and Amazon to get to levels where maybe we can reshort them as well up at these levels. But hey, man, we're still like, you know, we've given a little bit back as we hold this Intel against us, but we're still where we are. We've given a little bit back here, but the morning was incredible, and you know, we'll just see what we can do from here. So far so good, but would definitely like this Intel to pull back off of 47 a little bit.
So triple top here now on Tesla, this 54. We have Frank. It is 245. It just comes, if we can come to the chart really quickly.
Yeah, you can finish.
Just a quick little triple top here. If we're not going to break it out, I mean, it's about like 30 cents worth of risk off this high. The high is actually 02s, but I might look for a cheeky little reversal play on Tesla. If it breaks this top out, I think it has a chance to get to 55. But you know what happens at 245 on a Thursday? We go to the desk and we see Frank, the man.
There he is. A lot to discuss, Mr. Kaberna. Good to see you as always on a Thursday afternoon, coming off of what we got this morning at 8:30. What we'll get tomorrow morning at 8:30. Two very important data points here to consider as we continue along this inflation talk road. First things first, I was just looking at the Fed funds futures are pricing in essentially 3 rate hikes, correct me if I'm wrong, going into 2024. And the overall market is pricing in as many as 6 at this point. Am I seeing this right?
I mean, the Fed funds futures would correlate with the Fed Watch tool. So, I mean, depending on what expiration you're looking at there, it should correlate almost 1 for 1. And what I mean, I've been seeing for next year, obviously no more meetings here this year, is somewhere between 100 and 200 basis points of cuts throughout the year, and even more and more of a chance that we could talk about this in just a second, because they're pricing it in as recently as yesterday and today, with more downside to short-term rates. We've seen an increased chance of a cut as soon as January. So those Fed fund futures can be wonky depending on the expiration that you're looking at, and it's always tough, right? You're given one price, and let's say the price for I don't know, the June futures is 95.75, and that correlates to 4.25% interest rates. But the CME is able to distribute that out to chances of it being exactly that, and a little bit more and a little bit less and a little bit more than that, a little bit less than that. They break it out to a relatively normal distribution around that singular price. So it is a little bit of assumption going into that Fed Watch tool, but the futures should correlate pretty well given whatever timeline you're looking at.
Yeah, I think this graphic I'm looking at is, I think, pointing to the dot plot, and what the dot plot was suggesting was going to be the case at the end of next year versus now. I mean, January 2025, 3.75 right now, which is
crazy. Yeah, crazy divergence between the Fed and the market for sure. And it's widening, like I say, as recently as yesterday and this morning, coming off of that GDP number. Just huge divergences between the dot plot for the last meeting of 2023, Brendan, saying for 2024 will be around 50, 75, maybe 100 basis points lower. And the market now, in some places getting close to pricing in 200 basis points lower at the end of next year. So it's absolute craziness, the divergence between the two, kind of like a yield curve inversion of a different kind. But one will be right and the other won't, and there will be a lot of money to be made trading around that divergence in the coming year for sure.
All right, let's talk about what happened this morning and explain this to us, if you will, because there was some crazy action on the U.S. dollar. Initially up, and then we get a huge move down, and then it comes back up on that number that we got at 10 o'clock this morning. But for anyone that missed it, at 8:30 this morning, we get a GDP print, the final Q3 GDP print, 4.9% versus 5.2%. So still all kinds of strength, but a little bit lower than what was projected.
Yeah, absolutely lower. And, we're in one of those, I know traders make fun of this from time to time, where one of those situations where the bad news is good for stocks and the good news is really good for stocks. And I mean, obviously it's always a nuanced situation, but what we saw this morning was GDP comes in light, but continuing with the theme that Powell has led us on the last 6 to 12 months, U.S. economic data coming in lighter than expected, but not too light. It's the perfect amount of lightness here at 4.9% compared to 5.2%, and that conveying to the market that the U.S. economy is not crashing, not heading towards a recession. We're not showing negative GDP, but we are showing a little bit slower economy than the last couple of years that has caused overheating to the point of 8-9% inflation. And so this was interpreted really well by the stock market, and as a more dovish type number for interest rates is 2 years fell 6 basis points, and that was after yesterday falling 8 basis points, as now the 2 year is nearing 4%. We had our 10-year hit 4% last week after the FOMC. 30-year hitting 4% here this week, and now the 2-year and the yield curve inversion. The yield curve, we've been watching this for so long, Brennan, has been more than 100 basis points of inversion, with the 2-year now crashing down close to 4%, getting close to that normalized yield curve here. And I mean, every step of the way that especially the 2-year moves lower, pricing in greater chance of rate cuts to come from the Fed. Of course, if you know, sorry to restate, but if you don't know, the Fed controls the overnight interest rate benchmark. And then obviously that has a lot of influence over the 1-month Treasury bill and the 6-month Treasury bill and the 1-year Treasury note. But essentially the closest that we have to trading that overnight rate when it comes to high volume, high liquidity products is the 2-year. And so a lot of people will correlate 2-year interest rate price action to where they're pricing the Fed to move in the next handful of meetings, in the next year to 2 of duration. And right now getting close to that 4%, more than 100 basis points lower than where the Fed currently is, and really stair-stepping lower every day, it seems, interest rates are.
Crazy volatility. I was just going to mention, going back to April on that chart that we were seeing there, was the small bank or mid-sized bank crisis that we had, that a lot of them ended up going underwater. Some of these rates had a huge move down, end up climbing their way all the way back to highs on the year, and now here we are basically testing those levels.
No, it's a great point to make, because I always hate to make it seem like what we're speaking on, what's been going on the last 2 months, can't change, and we're just going to continue to stair step lower, because you and I have seen, especially that 2-year volatility. You make a really great point. It's changed course 3 different times this year, where heading into the spring of 2023, we were looking at, oh man, is this thing going to take off 4 or 5%? Is the Fed going to keep hiking? And then you have the regional bank crisis, rates crash back down to 4% and lower. And then everybody, remember, that's when they started pricing in rate cuts for this year. Now, of course, that didn't end up happening. And actually, the overnight rate got above 5% after that. And so this is all just to say it has been a pretty straight shot lower for rates and for where the market's projecting the Fed to go. That can change on a dime. And I mean, it could change as quickly as with the the next inflation print, the next non-farm print to come in January, and everything else. That being said, man, we have not seen anything to the contrary over the course of the last 2 months. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Brendan. This has probably been the most consistent streak of data that we've had over the course of the last 2 years. Essentially, October, November, and now midway through December, almost every data point and Fed Chair Powell speaking to the downside in rates as opposed to the upside. But obviously, we'll get more information on that in the morning.
We've touched on the fact that the move up was similar, obviously the opposite direction, and now is it going to be a similar move, back down in the same, volatile and very violent way? This next chart kind of interesting in the sense that it's now, 84.6% of a chance for a cut going out to March of next year. And then we'll touch on what's going to come tomorrow, this core PCE, because I feel like, Frank, this next couple of days could be interesting for Fed Chair Powell, depending on what this number comes out as tomorrow. His job could get a little bit challenging here going into the holidays, as if we see finally a downtick for this core PCE number, he's not going to be able to stay on this bandwagon for that long, being at, they're still at 5.25%. If we're starting to talk about interest rates in the threes at some point, there's got to be some give here.
And that's why you're getting that price action in the Fed fund futures, like we started the conversation, and in the short-term interest rates. They've gotten so volatile because, people are worried that if we get a core PCE print tomorrow expected at 3.3%, which would be the lowest that we've seen in the last year, as you can see, it's been pretty consistently lower month after month after month, which is what they've wanted. But if we do get, a 3.1% or a 3 even or a 2.9, then you start to worry, okay, well, they can't cut rates until the end of January. The market's pricing in a pretty overwhelming chance that they will in March. But that is, at least 1 to potentially 3 inflation prints away. And if we get to that point, and they're still, to your point, at over 5% interest rates, and inflation is backing off to 2%, and maybe after a couple more prints, printing below 2%, have they slowed the economy down too much? Now, again, until now, it has been like the most soft of soft landings, to the point where the GDP number this morning, I think, is just like fully symbolic of what we've gotten over the course of the last couple of months in particular, which is like, it's a good number. It's 4.9% growth, but it's a little bit under estimates. And so it's not that hot. It's really perfect. But to your point, he's got a really nimble dance to make over the next couple of weeks in particular, because if the inflation print comes out tomorrow too soft, then it's like, holy smokes, maybe we do need to cut in January, and maybe I do need to make this a more expedited process. Now, if it bounces back at any point, which we haven't really seen a lot of economic data for in the last 2 months, then he has to start to bring those projections for cuts in January and March out of the market, which could cause significant downside in stocks. So he's obviously done, your opinions of the man and central banks aside, he's done a pretty good job so far to get the best of both worlds. But we just saw UK inflation, and the US and UK have been kind of the most highly correlated over the course of the last 3 years. The dip in the pandemic, the bounce back, the inflation over the course of the last 2 years, coming down in inflation. UK inflation this week printed 0.5% lower than expectations. And so if this PCE number comes in way lower, this might mean cuts earlier, and that might no longer mean bullishness for stocks as a result of those cuts. It might mean, man, are we falling through the floor here? Are we going to start to see that we slowed the economy down too much? So still, to your point, a lot of work to be done in the next handful of weeks before. I mean, we kept thinking the March meeting, Brendan, was going to be the really interesting one. January might become the interesting one, depending on tomorrow's number.
And he's pointed to that in the past, suggesting that, you know, it's almost better for them to go too far and then pull it back than it is to not do enough. So is that the way this plays out? Remains to be seen. I was just double checking. So we get PCE tomorrow, and then he'll have a couple of weeks over the holidays to think about it. And then January 11th is the next CPI print. 2 weeks after that, the 25th, is when we hear from Fed Chair Powell again. So right back into it as soon as we get into January. Frank Kaberna is Director of Strategy at IG.com in Chicago. Go check them out. Frank, pleasure. Happy holidays.
Thanks, Brendan.
All right.
Ayo. We're never going to give Frank up. That's how we roll. But, okay, Bitcoin's not moving. And I don't know why Mara took out the high of the day, but it did. So Mara went breaking out to the upside. I grabbed the long through 40, and it just got to 60. So I just said, why not join it? So we joined the move. It's a little bit late, but again, I don't even see anything happening. I'm just going to quickly do this. Like, this is my 15-minute, okay, fine. This is my Binance instead of my trade, instead of my trading view chart. But yeah, there's nothing really happening in Bitcoin, even if you go down to the lower time frame. But this is this is a Mara story currently. So as long as it's going, we'll see if it can continue the trend. I don't know how much further it's going to go. Oh, Micron just broke 40s. Micron had just rolled over. It had just rolled over and was looking pretty solid. Yeah, we might be having an execution issue.
Guys, we have some execution issues possibly, but we've got money anyways. We're getting out of our intel, so I'm okay for execution right now. I don't know.
No, it's
There you go. Okay. Yeah, okay. So we are having a few execution issues, but for right now, it's all good. I'm getting filled on Intel, so maybe it's New York or I don't know what it is, but there it is. Nice moves down for Intel. So when we left you guys, I said this trade, we were shorting Intel. So that's what we have on right now. It's a short on Intel as we start to push back down a little bit here. So far, so good on this trade. Let's wait to see what happens now as we just got those 70 fills. Like this is why, you know, we talk about how we trade or how I trade and things like that. So that's it right there, man. Right back in. We talked about that 47. We had to average in too much. Honestly, at this time of day, probably too much averages in. But again, when you believe in what you're trading, and it's also a sticky note name, so we've already done the work on this, so we don't need to flash back and forth. We already know kind of what we're dealing with right now. Okay, so as this market continues to make moves higher right now, I'm just backing Affirm. We're not going to give away anything pretty much. Like, if I lose on this trade, we'll give back 10%. 10% of what we made on this move earlier if we lose right now, right? So we're going to get out if it breaks 60, which is pretty close to happening as we speak. So we are short right now from 39s. If you don't like this position, you could get out right now for a 2-penny loss. So it's up to you. I guess, sorry, now a 2-penny loss. So we're going to hold on to it. We do have another new position right now. It is a SoFi. So let's wait to see what happens with SoFi here. I was just trying to give this one to that break. Oh, maybe I have to zoom back out a little bit here. So yeah, my executions are filling. I mean, let me know if there's an exchange that's not working or something, but 65. So I was just going to give this, we almost got stopped breaking through 65, 66. That's 68 up there, the high of the day for SoFi. So we'll sit in this, but I don't want to give it too much more room, man. A break of 65 and we might as well just get out. Well, we can wait for 70. Let me cancel that and wait a little bit higher, but SoFi may or may not work here. It's already making that move. The futures, that is, right? So let's just be careful with it. Yeah, it looks like it's going to try 65. All right, so that break is 70. So let's wait to see. SoFi's had a great little run, man. Remember we had that long 920 break? That was incredible. That break
SoFi looks
there.
I mean, SoFi looks spicy. I mean, I want that thing to break the $10 level. Obviously, it failed there yesterday. But just one quick thing. There are some executions here at Day Trade the World, but what I'm not going to do, I was short Micron again into 85.40 here. You can see the flat top. I had gotten most of it out in front of 85 even, and then reloaded off the top. Now, my stop fired, and my bids to get out and cover have fired and are just stuck. So what I never do in a situation like that is not going to do anything else. When these resolve, there's a very good chance that they just filled and they'll punch out when the print comes back in. The worst thing you can do is just start hitting keys when you have an execution issue. So as far as I'm concerned, Micron stopped out above 40 at 41, and we should be out of it. If the short goes in the money, to me it's irrelevant. As far as I'm concerned, that's going to be out the second I get that fill. Mara is now accelerating. I think it could see 25 today. By the way, 25 on Mara. Shoot, I got to get up let me pull up the weekly chart here for Mara, because the daily's not really doing you anything. Well, that's the monthly. Very quickly, we'll do our picture-in-picture back into the weekly on trade ideas. This is a huge breakout with room on the weekly chart. You're talking $31 on Mara is the next significant level. 25 psychological, so it's when it's 3 o'clock on a Thursday before Christmas, then I'm gonna be pretty happy if it gets to that 25. At some point, you just got to be able to join it. There's not even anything going on in Bitcoin right now, so this is a rally that is just a Mara squeeze. And Mara's short float is 24.5%, which is about 5% higher than I thought it was. So this is a squeeze play on Mara as far as I'm concerned. So see if it gets to that 25. When something is squeezing higher, the pullbacks can get pretty violent. So I wouldn't want to get caught with the pants down. This pulling back too much. It's already given a couple of percentage points from here, and the high is now 24.88. So the second I see the bid start to drop out of this, I'm just going to get out of Dodge.
Yeah, I just actually want to show you guys something here. We talked about this earlier. Shout out to Adara for hooking me up with this. This is going to be on tonight's recap show, Sean's tweets. Look at this. This is, too bad. It doesn't matter. Not being able to see this is not that relevant, actually. Yesterday from Bespoke, yesterday was the 8th time in the SPY's history that the ETF traded at a 52-week high and finished the day with a decline of over 1%. Right? And so again, I really like that. I just tweeted it out. I just put this here too. I really like that as an indicator. You know, hitting highs and then tanking off that. We've seen that with Apple, like once it hits like those $1 trillion markers and things like that. And it just shows you the market doesn't have to like make any sense in order for us to make dollars. So that's just one thing right there that I wanted to bring everyone's attention to. And then another thing that we'll talk about here tonight, and traders stay late, so make sure you're doing that with me today on the market recap. But check out this one right here. There it is, the market recap show. What are whales buying right now? So these are the five most recent buys coming through right now. And look, Warren Buffett, Sirius Satellite Radio, some of these other names in here, David Tepper, NVIDIA, Meta, Google, a lot of tech names in this dude's basket. Dan Loeb, I really like this guy as well. Uber, Amazon, well, I like that Uber call there. ICE Exchange, shout out to our friends over at the ICE Exchange as well. Chase Coleman, Eli Lilly, nice to see that in there as well. So we'll be talking about some of these, but again, go follow me at Trader TV Sean, and thank you to Adara for all of that as well as we continue to rock and roll, man. All right, let's go. What else we got going on right now? Okay, we're still him, guys. Affirm is right here, right now. Let's just take something out. There we go. We'll punch a little bit out there, and of course it rips up. Oh no, we didn't get that fill. Okay, I thought I was bidding 27s in there. All right, we did. We crossed 27, but did not get a fill. So let's cross over this way. There we go. Okay, we get it now. Oh yeah, that's right. We're having execution issues. So those two exchanges that I just used, definitely not working right now. So all right, so I know what exchange is working. BYX, let me see if I can get that fill right now to the downside. There it is, right now. So let's go bang, 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 bang for Affirm. Now we just need to take some of these out as the market's coming back in just a little bit. Look at this SoFi. You can use BYX to get out. Everything else is not working. So here we go, right now to the downside.
I was trying to.
So that's why I was like, things are working fine for me. It's because I was only using
you're right. Okay, got it.
So I don't know why Wayne and all those guys don't know that, but that's it. So if you guys are in position, you can use BYX. There we go. I did it. All right. All right. So there we go.
And Edge A.
Yeah. There's definitely ways to get out of your positions right now. Yeah, it's BYX. You can use 100%. I'm using it as we speak. Yep, there we go. Thank you, Wayne, for that. So there we go. So we'll send some business over there. But yeah, we're still happy, man. Intel's still rocking and rolling. We got some great fills on that one. Hopefully, Affirm will continue its movement down, and we will put some more orders down a little bit lower on Affirm here as well. Remember, these orders could go live and then they could fill. So you're just
that's what you have to be wary of. So
I don't think they will.
If you have stuck orders, my assumption is if when the gateway comes back up that they fill, so I'm like hands on keys just in case I get into Micron and along when I got out of the short. It's the same thing with Mara. Quickly, I got out of Mara at 24.70, but I do have a sell order in there on the gateway that didn't fill. So I got the win, but if that comes in, I could get punched into a short at any moment, and I want to just quickly get out of it. So it happens. The only position I'm now in, because we are having some issues, and I can make new trades knowing that we have a couple of gateways that are working. Most of the reverse models looks like they're the only ones that are going to be there. Edge A, Boss X, BYX, that kind of a thing. So I can be on those gateways in Nikola and sort of chill out and then worry about new positions and take them on the gateways that are working. That's the advantage of having access to all of these different books.
Ooh-wee.
Because when one goes down, or two go down, or whatever it might be, you might have the opportunity to still be able to execute, which is very, very key. So thankfully, we're able to take the win on Mara anyways.
All right, and the winners are abound as well. Look at SoFi. We just got a nice little buy there. What was that price exactly that we got down low there? We got 57, Phil, there on SoFi. So let's see. Hopefully we can pull this back in. We're just kind of scalping out right now. It's 310. So we'll see if SoFi wants to continue its little march higher or lower today, up 3%. And again, I'm going against the way I trade normally, right? I'm trying to short names that are pretty weak. This is a strong name. It's just every strong name is back at levels that I like. So there are going to be some issues coming through here with everything. So we'll wait to see about SoFi. Hopefully it falls through. We do have more bids a little bit lower. I have a bid at 56, and I might as well just put one down here at 50 in case we do get that complete flush down on that name. So yeah, that's what we're doing right now. We're trying to just let things happen for us and just kind of breathe and watch the stocks. Disney was a good short for us early. This is another one of those top names. We'll see if that can hold out for us. Intel's not doing a whole heck of a lot right now. Grom, yeah, you know what? Amazon looks strong, maybe. We're still short Amazon, and it's been a great short for us. So we'll see if we can hold out on that one.
Meta just had
I was going to say maybe Meta.
No, Meta just made a big move down.
Yeah, what's the market doing? Up. So we'll find out.
Meta's looking like a fade if it gets back
Just
into
bounced off the
here.
200 though. That's not bad.
And my first thought is Meta was one of the strongest uptrends on the Mag 7 pretty much all afternoon, and then it fails VWAP under 52. If it comes back in here and the futures make the same high, 16.9, then I'd look for it as like a VWAP retracement play there on Meta. I just have to mentally remember, because like the gateways that are up aren't my primary gateways that I use, so I have to mentally remember not to hit like the NASDAQ key. But I'm looking at this. It was super strong, and I want to see if I can't get a VWAP failure. The question was, why did you get out of Mara? Well, I had a trail out. I was looking at that 25 level, a pullback off 25, and I was looking to get out of Mara on that trend up. And it might get to 25 even, fair enough. That's going to happen to you every now and then. Like you take a target out, and it goes a little bit higher. I can live with that, but I do like Meta off this VWAP here.
All right. Oh, man. I mean, what a difference a day makes, right? I mean, yesterday we were, having great conversations, and it was just the market was heading to the downside. And today, all of a sudden, we're having discussions about order issues. But that's okay. Like Neil said, we're still going to trade. It doesn't stop anybody from trading because we do have gateways that you can get filled on, right?
Well, you have to. The thing is, you cannot trust that one-stop key. Well, you have to make sure you have the
yeah, exactly. You got to figure it out. Yeah. So, and that's what I mean. But we're, like I said, being professional.
Yeah, like don't use
very easy.
Like for us, it's like the flatten tool uses a specific gateway. That gateway's down, so I know not to use the flatten tool.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just little things that you do know. But once you're aware of the issue, it's completely different.
Yep. So that's what we're doing right now is just being patient, waiting for stuff to happen. The market again, we can talk about it if you want to go on a little bit of a longer time frame right now coming through here. So, there's that dip down, right? We had that yesterday. Then the rebound in the whole, the broader market today. Both the S&P and the NASDAQ are both well up. Both 0.8 with the ES 0.7. So there is some movement here back up to the upside. So I feel like all is well again because, like I said, tomorrow the Santa Claus rally begins. Historically, this is the right day for it. Santa Claus rally does take the last 5 trading days of the year. So I could see us taking the 17,050 out. I'm not going to be here tomorrow. I'll be flashing back near the end of the day because we're going to have the podcast. I want to thank everybody for the continued support on the pod. Are we cool enough to say that? The pod right now. So we'll be doing that tomorrow. That should be a lot of fun. We had Neil on there last week. We'll be doing it tomorrow. And a couple good topics, right? There's good things happening this week. We'll be doing that. And then some fun talk and whatnot on that as well. But SoFi, so I like that short into this 65. Are there any names, okay, that you guys want to talk about? Let's talk about Nike quickly. Nike tonight has earnings. So we like that, right? Nike earnings tonight should be relatively strong, I feel like. We've had some nice moves up. I'm tired of hearing supply chain issues. I don't think there are any anymore. So I think they've got that solved. We had a good quarter. We didn't have a great quarter from Lulu. The stock went down, but then the next day it just bounced right back up. So if we're going to use something like a Lululemon or an apparel maker to sort of equate what we think may happen with Nike, I mean, boom. So here we go, man. I mean, this was the move down on the earnings, down into 440, that we nailed that on the recap show, and then all the way back up to 510. So this is probably all-time highs, if not close enough to that right here, as we take out 514 now, and we go. Fabian, get over here. I want everyone to show everyone your Christmas shirt there today. So your Christmas sweater. Fabian going to show everyone very, very soon. Very handsome individual. Here he comes. All right, don't move so fast. Here we come for Fabian. Hey, what's up, everybody?
I like
Fabian.
it.
How long have you had that Christmas sweater?
About maybe 8 years.
Nice, I like it. I see you haven't changed much size in 8 years.
Nope.
All right, that is great. I really like that one. Nice quality. And now that I see what it's doing, that's very interesting. So
Yeah, I was about to say,
thank you so much for that one there right now. But hey, it's a Christmas sweater,
Okay.
and I like that one. So there you go.
The circle of life, everybody.
Exactly.
The circle
so
of life.
shout out to Fabian, and that's the kind of fun that we're going to have here on the show. So
Mine is definitely going to be clean. Actually, I did have one that was morbid, that I'm not going to wear that one. I've got something a little bit of a different theme for tomorrow.
Okay.
Very quickly, Meta here did get to VWAP, broke 52, just above 52 into VWAP, and then right back under into 75. Took some out for a quick little scalp trade. And again, I don't know what caused Meta to turn around the way that it did, but once it made that move down with the market doing nothing, look for the retracement. On the first bounce, play into VWAP. If it breaks out the top, then fair enough. Steve G, go long the reindeer, why not? Santa Claus rally.
Sure.
Strong mover there. This is unreal what's going on in MAR. It's still going. So I have a level 2 up just in case if this order goes live, it might actually mark it down, and then I sort of punch into a short, and I'll just punch right out of it. But we're at 25 right now. 24.97. The size on the offer is about 200,000 shares, but I'm guessing it's going to be able to chew right through that. 317. You still got plenty of time for this to go. That 25 might not get taken out right away, but the way it's trading, it feels like it's pretty much inevitable. I was looking at Coinbase thinking, MAR is going, but Coinbase is struggling to break 170. So I might, if you're not breaking 170, if I can get a tight stop short here on Coinbase, risk 25 cents, this says a 169 to 170 range in there. And there's nothing happening on Bitcoin. This feels like a little bit of a mini squeeze happening in a couple of related names.
All right, I'm also getting ready here for tonight for the market recap show. We're gonna have a Thursday night football play for everyone tonight as well. Okay, so let's look at Google. So a name that we haven't maybe looked at in a while. We really love this name today, man, and it just took off. We liked it here at 140, and that's right where we're at right now. Again, is 140, but this is part of what we're talking about. Shout out to High Park as well. We're back into baseball season now as we continue to work with the kids every Saturday at an indoor practice facility where there's 6 coaches. So I've been blessed to be chosen to be one of those, and that's been really fun. Okay, so 139, 80 maybe as a bottom. The thing is like when you're gonna look, remember what kind of trader that I am, and trying to play off support and resistance. Well, right now we have resistance right there at 140.25. We also have support down here at 139.70. So right now we are in the middle. So for Google, so for everybody asking about Google, love you guys in the chat, but it is going to be a no-fly zone for me until something actually moves. Oracle, yeah. All right, so okay, what do you guys want to talk about? We could talk about Tesla quickly if you guys want to. I was just looking at Oracle, but Tesla right here, look at this, man, starting to take it out. So again, short, make that money until it breaks, and now there goes Tesla back up to the upside. So I am red on Tesla today, so it's not like this has been a great opportunity for me. We were long early, so we were green, and that was really great. And then all of a sudden, whoosh, to the downside, and we took that 251.50, got out at 251, then we took it ahead at 250, got out when it broke through 250, tried it again at 249.50, good thing we got out of that one. Then the short was working, and we're like, yeah, we're gonna make it back, and then it was like slap, right back the other way right now. So we're gonna have to watch out for that trade. And as Neil said, the stops won't necessarily trigger.
I think execution's back now.
Okay, good. So I will have to then deal with this Affirm trade manually. But I'm just gonna refresh everything and make sure that we are good to go.
Well, I'm not gonna throw any new orders on the gateways that are questionable, but
I mean, I still have all stuck orders.
I was able to throw one away from the market on on ARCA, but the stuck orders are still there. But I am in and out of coin here a couple of. So coin 170, I was short right in front of it. It broke 170, wicked the top, came right back underneath. So I just got right back into position on Coinbase at that 170 level. Mara's at 25 even. It did break 25 and it's starting to pull back in. I just see this as, the market's now starting to go, but before, about 5 minutes ago, or a couple of minutes ago, this was a squeeze happening in just a couple of these names, and now all of a sudden maybe, yeah, we might be taking that top again. I have a stop at the high of the day. If it breaks it out, then we just get the you-know-what out of Dodge, and Mara is continuing to make highs. Should have just gone in up that 25 level. If I see a buyer at 25 even, I might take a shot at Mara going back into the long. It's coin which is struggling at the high of the day. That's why I like the short here. But as we look at Mara, the mistake was getting out of Mara on the curl back. But at the end of the day, like I saw that wick high in a 24.90 thinking 25 top, and 25 has not been the top. It's still trying to break away from that level. So coin short for now, but until I see something tell us otherwise, I feel as if like Mara should just be look for the long opportunity. If I see a buyer at 25, which I'm not seeing just yet, I might jump right back into that long. As I say that, like coin starts to come in. Should get a bid here.
I'm just trying to get these stops out as well.
Now,
so we have SoFi. Yeah, the orders still aren't working. 48. My Affirm stop was going to be high side in the 60s somewhere. And again, we weren't getting stopped out right here. I was going to do 70s. We did have that high coming back in here for Affirm, and we were going to give it up to this level, which was 70. Yeah, so we're right about that one. Here comes Affirm pulling back in a little bit. What we really need to do, and then we could be, we're already having a great day, but it's going to be a lot greater if we do get this move to happen for us, and that is going to be SoFi. So let's see what happens right now on this one. It's going to be SoFi. If this can pull back, this will be real good, man. We do have a decent amount of shares on it. We're going to wait to see what happens with SoFi. We do have a reloaded position here on Intel, but again, I better fix my Intel stop as well because this one could take out those tops here. That is Intel. Looks like it wants to do it right now. So good thing we got this out. And by the way, this reload, I'm not just saying this because where it is right now. First of all, there's some decent size here on Intel, but we wanted to make sure, I just got to make sure I have the right amount of shares here, which I do. You know what? We'll go a little bit more short here, which I don't know if is the right area here at all. But for Intel, as we watch out for $47 coming into play. So we'll put our stop just a little bit north of 47 right now and then see if we can get that to go. But right here, it looks like Intel's trying to test it. I'm just going to get this order out and then trade it that way. So now there we go. The stop is now out, and hopefully it will trigger properly, as we still are having a few execution problems here. So just changing up which keys we use, as Neil said. So I'm just making sure that everything is good to go right now. Yeah, we still got to be careful for sure.
Yeah, so I got coin in here. I just double checked on Nikola. The buyers did not come back to 25 on Riot. Sorry, not Riot, on Mara. So the buyers did not step in here at 25 even. So I think this one is starting to give up the ghost. Coin's starting to roll over. If it can get down into 169, I think we can look pretty good. I just saw Rage TV said Tesla 400 in 2024. I'm down with that. I'm down with that if Tesla wants to get up there. I don't have any issues with it. That seems a little bit, it's a little aggressive. Got to get to 300 first. But I'll tell you what's great about Tesla is in yesterday's pullback, it bounced off the previous resistance channel. And we're still gapping a little bit, not gapping, but we're recovering higher. So this is what I like to see, consolidation above the previous resistance line. That's geared up to run into 300. Whether it happens in the Santa Claus rally or happens in next year, I mean, I really don't care as long as it eventually happens. I'm with you, Mr. Musk, but I think it's a power up as long as it holds that trend line. So it's about 250 that's the bottom of that trend line, and it looks pretty darn good going into it. The market, I mean, the market does on my 15 minute, on my 60 minute, there isn't actually a red, but on my 15, like you're still actually breaking that local high at 16.9. So the fact that you're getting a decent pullback here in Coin, maybe not as much in Riot. I mean, Meta just pulled back $1 and change when the market's not really pulling back at all is a bit weird. But yeah, it is happening, so let's respect it. I'm not sure what's dragging the NASDAQ higher right now when the few stocks I'm looking at all just pulled off the top. Maybe it's Apple? I don't know.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
it's not Apple.
No, yeah, the
Definitely not
NASDAQ
Apple.
is kind of just drifting right now. Let's be patient with it if we can. Okay, so here's where you can find it. People asking on the chat here, you can listen. So I'm off tomorrow, but I'm coming back in the afternoon to film this. We will have to film this too. I guess film it. Yeah, shoot it, film it, record it. The podcast, find it here on Spotify. Here's all the past episodes. Me, Neil, Sharif, we're all on these as individuals. So we'll do this podcast tomorrow. But there it is right now. It's on all platforms, guys. Let's get this one right to the moon on this. So you guys find the podcast, go grab it. Should be really, real fun. All right, so yeah, the stops obviously aren't working here. Intel just went up and down through 47, so we should have been out already on that one. So we're gonna have to manually get it out, but because I don't know how to manually get it out.
I don't know.
So I don't even know what to do. I mean, like Wayne, is there any gateways we could use?
Currently, I'm seeing none.
I know, but I want Wayne to be responsible for this. So, hey, Wayne, how do we get out of our positions? Okay, BYX market orders and Edge A. Because BYX limit orders are not working.
No, limit orders aren't working on Edge A.
Yeah, it's at the broker. Yeah. So it's okay. Thanks, Wayne, for that. So we're just gonna have to sit here and wait, unless we can. I mean, can I just? If you flatten all of your positions, I don't think that will work either. For that.
No, it's going to fire primary gateway when you hit.
I don't have too many shares. It's really the problem for me is going to be SoFi. I didn't add, so I would have added normally. Sorry, here, let's go over to Intel. I would have added here at 47 and then just punched out. So no matter what, it's going to be a fail. But we are having issues where we can't get out of our positions. So I don't, we're kind of just sitting here, we're flat-footed right now. And when you trade with, more share size, it sucks. So I'm going to need to get this all figured out. It's 325. I don't want to carry these into tomorrow, but whatever, we can get it all figured out at some point. So hopefully it comes back on right now. All right, good job, Y Brothers, man. He recovered all from yesterday. Great job.
Well done.
Like I said, we're still... Yesterday we happened to be near making money, and today we're back up there again. So yeah, for me it's back-to-back jacks. No matter the market condition, man, we're still here, and it's been a really, really good day. Again, now it sucks because I'm just sitting here, waiting for something to happen. So I might just have to go to a TSR and just ask them to get me out because I just don't want to risk. We're still well up, right? We've got the trophy, but it's not, these stocks could start to get nasty, and we don't need that to happen, right? So look at the market, 1% up. We said the Santa Claus rally could start early. It looks like it did, man. That's 16.8. Let's go. Nice move, 1% on the NASDAQ, making it all back from yesterday. So congratulations to anybody that's sitting in there and having good success.
Absolutely, and like you said, there's not much you can do. I mean, every single gateway I've tried is not working. So if there's something that's happening at the end of the day, thankfully, the only thing I'm still holding on to was a new coin for not a huge position when we entered back in. But if it breaks out the top, I'm just going to get flat. And it was about $1 in the money, and I couldn't take it. So there's not much you can do about that. And then Nicola's not doing anything. So the good thing about Nicola is I don't really have to worry about this moving too much. But if it does end up getting to like 350, and we get right toward the end of the day, my question will be, do the auction trades work? And if the auction orders work, you can just throw it maybe into the close. But wow, the market just took a big leg to the upside as AMD just bounced $1.50. It's going right into 140. Obviously, when you have execution issues, there's not much you can do, but I'm not going to trade this level. But this is the monster resistance on AMD from the last week, and NVIDIA is also flying right into 489. This is pretty much insane, but it is AMD leading the charge to said upside. Yeah, as I said, there's not too much you can do. I probably would not fade that anyways. Just looking at the strength in the overall market, because we've broken trend back up into the top. So I don't think putting on new shorts makes any sense unless you get to the actual high of the day, which is a good 30 handles away on the NASDAQ. Some people asking about mRNA. Good look, but I'll tell you right now, the story is the chips just flying. Moderna did have a pretty decent catalyst the other day, just today. Not really seeing too much there. You're still a ways away from the high, about $1 from the high of the day if this is even a load up. Yeah, so you're not really doing much on Moderna. It's up that 5.5%, but the trade right now feels like it's the NASDAQ, it's NVIDIA, it's AMD, like those are the big high flyers. But not much to see on Moderna outside of a nice little VWAP hold here on mRNA. But this is starting to get a little bit nuts. I mean, coin, which I'm sitting in, it's holding 170, but that's just for now. You know, the second we can get flattened, then I'm just going to get flattened on this stock pretty much wherever it is. But this story is all about AMD, everybody. Let us know what you guys want to look at here. This is what's interesting. I saw this comment in the chat maybe an hour ago, and the more I think about it, the more sense it makes. Like a lot of the way today is setting up, it's almost as if people that positioned in yesterday are just getting semi-roasted. Like if you took the ladder move in the future, on the market to the south side, shorting off of those bottoms, the second the market opened, it ran tops and then faded right off of yesterday's support. And then we're doing the exact same thing. We're holding a higher low and then jumping right back into these levels. And if you break that high, get back to 17,000, you're just rinsing the heck out of people that entered the short on panic from yesterday's trade. That's the problem with chasing moves, is if you chase a move, you're going to find yourself in a world of hurt if you do get a kind of a gap back in and it's a one-day event. So I'm very, very cautious whenever it comes to shorting bottoms and longing tops. But it does feel like there is some bamboozlement for anybody that chased that short. That said, until you're through 17,000, I'm sure not a lot of people that are bigger money are too concerned about it at all. Abel saying it's a master bull trap. We'll see. I mean, it might be a bull trap, but as Sean mentioned, statistically speaking, in this last week, starting tomorrow, and then going into in the first couple of days of next year, you tend to see an upward moving market. Sure, you'll see some tax loss selling in certain places, but you know where you don't see tax loss selling? In stocks that have been up. So that's the majority of this market, right? So you're probably going to see some sell orders on some weaker names going into the end. But yeah, it does still feel like there's a bit of bamboozlement for some of those shorts that might have got put in yesterday.
Well, that's exactly what the thing was. That's why we were a little bit uncertain about what we were going to do today. I have to just fix the board now. I hit reset on the recap show, and now I have all my topics are all gone. So I'm doing that right now. Again, so until I hear if I can do anything, I can't really, like, I could set up my market keys and just mark it out of everything right now. But really the only stock that's in trouble is this Intel trade, and it's not. It's thankfully, like so thankfully, that we were able to get out all down here, and then we only average in a very, very small piece. It's good that the execution didn't go down after I got that last fill, because we could have had a lot more, and then now it would be disastrous to that upside. And then, so if you're just seeing me in these positions, I'm really just, you know, sort of handcuffed right now. I wish I didn't talk like this because unfortunately it's from our broker, but there's really nothing, can't really enter any new positions. I'm just seeing all my stuff is like all failing, all my scripts and everything. So we're just gonna have to wait until I actually get some cancels and stuff like that and fills back in. So what we could do now is let's just look at some stocks for people because there's really nothing to do. Yeah, set it up, and the market probably does work. I can just market out of everything. We've given some back that we shouldn't have, but that's okay. All right, what do you guys want to talk about? Alibaba, let's do that. Yes, yeah, what's up, Zamalek? Yeah, thanks for the kind words about the shirt. Okay.
Nope.
So here goes, you still can't?
No, that didn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work, yeah. I don't know. Wayne, who knows? All right, so we'll wait on that one. We're going to go figure out what's going on with these orders again. But right there, 76 for Alibaba. That's going to be a level, okay, guys? So no surprise we've bounced off of that. If you are long Alibaba, you know, we already been to 76 2 days ago. We faded it out, and then yesterday we hit 73.50. But I really like Alibaba on the daily chart, and I'll show you why. It's kind of like just scooping down, right? So you sort of have that smiley face now. So all we really got to do, and this is why I'm waiting for 80, I feel like if we take this 80 down, you know, we could be onto something. So like maybe if we can break through the 50 period, then we can get to the 200, which is 10%, right? That, well, it's right now it's 87, but you can get to 88. That's that 10%. And then if everything works out, then maybe you have that move back. And it only takes like, again, you know, we're into a political year where there's elections. There's going to be talk on China, that's for sure. In my opinion, I felt like President Trump had sort of more to say about China than what I can see from Biden, and that might be completely incorrect, but I just feel that...
They're just saying it differently.
Yeah, I mean, they're saying whatever they're saying, but it's one of those things where heading into the new year could be a catalyst either way.
They're both
the
protectionist right now. It's just like
What's
Trump
FXR?
was protectionist, but then Biden is just without saying it. I think that's like the U.S. stance has been very protectionary. They're just using different language with it and pretending it's somehow different. But it's the same. It's the same stance, man. Like they're cracking down, and they're just calling it things like national security or whatever. There's just different terminology for it. But yeah, I tend to think like. When you go into an election type year, like some of the things that you start thinking about next year, clean energy, and names, just depending on which way it goes, obviously that's going to be a big deal. Energy prices in general, like those are the types of markets that we expect to heat up. Maybe cannabis, I have no idea. That could be something as well. But let's go to the desk. Take care of a little business, courtesy of Frank.
Brought to you by IG.com. Trade Forex pairs like Euro USD with spreads as low as 0.8 pips and zero commissions at IG. Terms and conditions apply.
Yes, terms and conditions apply.
Always terms.
Oh, so just so you know, we try not to get political around here, but I'm definitely casting my vote for David Palmer in the upcoming elections. The greatest American president in TV history. I know some people like the West Wing, but I'm going with David Palmer, man. Like they try to kill that guy.
So all you need now is citizenship, and then you're jammed.
Well, obviously, I'm voting for a fictitious president here, but I'll have a fake citizenship, and then I'll roll for him. Because like the guy, they tried to kill him like 18,000 times, and he somehow managed to preside over like every single time the man stepped into LA. Somehow there was like a crazy event.
Oh, okay.
Or it's just, you know,
I don't know.
You never seen 24?
No, never seen 24, never seen
word?
The Wire.
Okay. Well,
I've seen some of The Wire, but not the way you have, so.
24 is legit. 24 is
They're both legit,
fun,
no?
But The Wire is like a much better show.
Roll call and...
What's crazy is if we could, we'd be getting out of, like I would be getting out of coin. I have an order that is stuck right here at the half, so to try to take the $0.50. We'll see if it goes live. We got about 25 minutes or 20 minutes for this to get back up. If it doesn't, then we'll probably just get flat on the broker side at the end of the day. It is going to happen. Squanchy says President Camacho. I'm down with that too. I'm down with President Camacho. I got no issues with our good friend Terry Crews. That dude's absolutely hilarious. Yeah, shout out to Jack Bauer. The big move right now, the futures are still pressing the high of the day. And AMD, the frustrating thing is it got to 139.95 and pulled back. So it did go to the 140 resistance, started to pull back, but this is where the strength is. It's leading the chips pretty much all day long. Nvidia's starting to go as well. It just got almost up to 490, so 489. They've both been powerhouses, but it's the AMD story, at least this afternoon. And if we're setting this one up for the rest of this week, which is tomorrow, if it breaks the 140, which I'm kind of skeptical that it's going to, you're at a clear skies up until about 143. Not that we're going to be taking this breakout trade. It's too late in the day. We don't have the execution up, but a good run here for AMD. When I talk about being excited about Tesla breaking a channel that was lower highs and lower lows on the daily chart, AMD is a perfect example of that. It broke that channel going back into the beginning of November, consolidated, and then once it started going, it has been accelerating ever since. It was in a downwards, not a spiral, but just gentle lower highs and lower lows all the way through, and now it's flying. That is exactly how Tesla is setting up right now. Same sort of thing. That's why you think about 300 on Tesla in the next month, it seems possible because of the pattern. I thought the same thing when I looked at the SoFi consolidation, and SoFi is making the same move. So Tesla, you're up. You're in the batter's box right now. You're holding the consolidation above a channel. Next step is to break out that top. COP just said CCL was 5 cents away from a year highs today. Would you play it tomorrow? We trade a little CCL. And we trade CCL from time to time. I trade a little bit on a short, which is, short off VWAP. Kind of a tight stop in there, took 10 cents, lost 5. And then I had a bit of a keystroke. It wasn't a keystroke. I punched in on size. They pulled the size, and I punched out flat. 19 in, 19 out. It was a big sell order at 20s, 19, 20. And then the second I was in at 19, they pulled the size, and I just punched out of it flat. The short would have worked, but that's not the short I was going for. Obviously, CCL having a good day on earnings, but this is at a monster daily top. To me, until it breaks this high, I think you fade the 1950. If it breaks out the high, then go for the move. But it has to break a top like this. This is major resistance going all the way back into June. CCL round trip, 19 half into 11, right back into 19. And it's gotten here rapidly. It was from June to October to get down to that bottom, October to the end of the year to get back up to the top. So it's moved in there fast. That's why I think short first and then worry about the rest later. Steve G shouting out to President James Marshall. Air Force. If you didn't say Air Force One, I wouldn't have known who that is. If we're talking best fictional presidents of all time. So I'm putting Palmer 1. I don't know who else would be. Camacho's pretty good. I don't know the name of the guy in the West Wing. It's Martin, what's his name? I don't know. I never really watched that show too much, but
I don't really watch too many of those drama shows, to be honest with you, but they're very popular. FXI. There was that. What was that #1 show on Netflix? I've never even watched it. Netflix dropped all those stats. Night Agent or something.
That was okay.
Oh, you watched it?
That's the best show.
It's not even. It's not even close.
Really?
Yeah.
That was
Netflix,
okay.
Streaming. No, yeah, it blew everybody away.
No, it was okay. It's not that good, but
yeah, here it is. The global top 10. Here we go.
It was pretty good.
I feel like David Letterman. Maybe I could do a new segment here, top 10 list. All right.
I don't want to talk about that.
Oh, wait a second here.
No, that's not it.
Oh, these are films. Leave the World Behind.
Yo, I just watched that.
Chicken Run. You what? Leave the World Behind? What is that movie?
It was at least 45 minutes too long. Leave the World Behind. It was
45 minutes too long. Okay, I don't have that much time.
It's a good story, but it's too long.
Chicken Run, Leo. So it looks like a lot of kids movies.
Hey, Leo's not bad.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like I saw Family.
Adam Sandler does the voice of the lizard.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Castle liked it.
Yeah. We did see this with the movie. Yeah. So these are all going to be. That's on Netflix. Globally. I don't think this is on Canada, but that's a great movie.
No, it's on Prime.
We went to the theater to see that. I never saw Underwater. Wait, this is just this week? Yeah. Okay. I wanted to see for the year.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's no way that.
Let me see what's hot right now. For here, Obliterated. What the hell is that? What? This looks great.
I started watching this to work out to. Basically, it's a secret force or special forces team.
Who was in this?
They stop like some crazy attack,
yeah,
and they celebrate in Vegas by getting plastered.
Okay,
I'm down. It turns out that they did not actually foil the plan, and now they have to foil the plan, but they're all messed up. Like their high as a kite.
Oh, okay. It's kind of like Hangover, but a little bit more.
It's hilarious, dude. It's like the Hangover.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
24.
All right, I'm gonna find. It doesn't matter.
You'll like that.
This is all. Where me and the kids saw this. We finished the Squid Game, so that was really good. The reality challenge. It's okay. Again, I feel like it gets boring at the end. I don't need to know the everyday's freaking life story. All these characters, but
it's reality.
Yeah, it's okay. All right, I'm gonna try to find the global one because that's just this week. But there was. I never saw that. Whatever that show. What did I call it again? I don't remember. Anyways,
Oh, the night agent.
night agent did not see that.
It's not bad.
All right, so what I'm going to spin this. Unfortunately, we're completely down. I've already got it confirmed. There's absolutely nothing
there's
I
nothing
can
you can
do.
do.
All these positions will just come out, and when they do, it'll be, here comes the money, because right now we are net
I'm out now.
in positions, and we are starting to get out of these positions as well. So right now, all good. Let's just wait to see. Here we go. Nice move to the downside. I wish. Thing is, I don't even want to throw out an order. I'll try. Let me try. Why not? Let's try. All right, no. So I just tried to mark it out, this Affirm order. I tried to hit that 06 right there, and I did not get a fill. So still down for now.
But the shorts are working. It's just not really able to do much.
Yeah, the market's printing. We're actually...
But the market's higher, which is weird. Everything I'm looking at is pulling back.
I was trying to see if there's any other questions there in the chat. Yeah, no, the market's good, man. We tried to stay net short. Obviously, I feel a little bit lucky about this Intel trade that's just kind of come back. It only went 10 cents more than where I would have liked it. I was trying to get out at 03, right? And a break of 02, out at 03. So that, we did save about 7 cents there. If it would have got activated, I probably just would have punched out immediately. But you know what? We're just staying the course. To me, it's all about this trade. I would have averaged into more. So quite frankly, this is costing me money, but we'll deal with it. That Affirm trade, I still think we fall out of bed. I mean, the market's up 1.5% and Affirm is doing this. So I just tried to get out. If it does come back in, man, this is going to be a good one. So that was good. Let's see what's up with Meta. You guys want to see the Meta order book? Okay. So shout out to Karthik. What's up, Karthik? Sick name for sure. This is what the Meta order book looks like. There's not much on here, actually, to tell you the truth. During the middle of the day, so we could just do a little bit of a lesson here. Oh, that number came out as what? 150 to buy, by the way. Every single one of these markers on here, these numbers where you see size is 100 shares board lot. So when you see 2, that means it's between 2 to 300 shares. When you see 100, it could either, a 1 there, it could either be a 1. Here, let's go to something a little bit slower. It could either be a 1, right? Or like right into here, that's 6,100 shares, 5,100 shares, 8,700 shares. It could be 8,750. There could be an odd lot. And so sometimes when you hear people say, I have an odd lot, it just means something sub 100. So a lot of you traders out there that maybe aren't trading with accounts like us or something like that, then you will be in an odd lot situation. So one round board lot is 100 shares, and that's going to be, it is going to be specific to some exchanges and things like that. But right here on the major U.S. exchanges, one board lot is 100 shares, and that's what you're going to see here on the level 2.
Got a super chat from Sailor Moon.
Good. What's up?
Leave your chart up because the question is go over your 1-minute chart indicators.
Mine?
Yeah. Well, I don't look. I've got VWAP and it's just VWAP and volume on mine, so you can't mean mine because I got VWAP, I got volume, and I use a 3 minute, so it's yours.
Yeah, okay. All right, so we've talked about, here, I'll just open this up so everybody can see it. Oops, I don't need a data editor it. All right, so the customization, we're gonna go here, we're gonna go to indicators, and you're just gonna see everything that I have right here. So I know this will be hard to zoom in, so I'll do it for you in a sec. Can you, I can't zoom this part in actually, guys, but I think they're fine to see it. All right, so that's VWAP. There's no settings necessary for VWAP. We have simple moving average, which is a 200. That is green. We have a simple moving average. This is from Max, the 21 period. I don't really use it, but it's on there, and sometimes I'll use it. So Max did some work on that. I really haven't, but that's what that is. And then the other one, this is the big one for me, is the 50. So that is pink, and it's the same everywhere. I don't really use VWAP. I mean, I do use VWAP on everything. On here, it's just the 50 and VWAP. I don't use the 200 for the market. Because I basically base all my decisions on what the market's currently doing, and then I'll go over and find a stock and then try to match sort of the stock with these levels. So like for Disney, for example, we're short now, right? But again, the reason why we were short had nothing to do with all these indicators. This is actually indicating that we should be long right now on Disney. We had this nice pop-up right here earlier on Disney, and then the fade back down in. So again, we would be out of this. It's just, unfortunately, the triggers don't work. So like we would already been out here, basically right here on Disney. So just a little bit of a light trade now on that. But looks like with only a couple more minutes left, man, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the question. I've back tested all that, and that's what I use. I try to keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Like everyone during their trading journey has probably used a million indicators, or at least tried out a million different ones, and then you sort of settle on what you settle on. I used to draw like all kinds of trend lines when I started, and now I'll do it on the daily chart if something's really, really interesting, and then everything else is pretty much nothing. Now, obviously, I'd be out of Coinbase 100%. No questions asked when it just bounced off 168, but we can't really do anything about it. And it's the same thing with the Nikola position. So we're just going to worry about what we can, and we can't control it. There's nothing you can do about it. But this market, an AMD 140 in tow, it's probably going to make a run at this. Because it's 349, my first thought is, oh, that would be the 350 trade, where you just take the cheeky short right before the imbalance comes out, with a stop above 140, and if it comes out of sell imbalance, win. If it comes out of buy imbalance, you're stopping out at 140 anyways. So you're basically getting that coin flip where the R&R is going to favor you. But because execution doesn't work, I'm not going to put that trade on. But AMD is super strong. That's a very particular trade at 350, just looking to make a shot off the imbalances. And you don't know which direction it's going to go. Just because the stock is up doesn't mean the imbalance is coming by. Just because it's down doesn't mean vice versa. But in that case, it's just about the fact that you know where the risk to reward is going to favor, and it's a tight stop off the high of the day, so I'm looking for that fade trade. With 30 seconds, you'll see these all light up on the imbalance locator. They might not be gigantic because we're not expecting gigantic volumes going into the end of the week. Of course, it being it's not a holiday shortened week, but we do have the holiday coming up. To everyone out there, I wouldn't expect big numbers. We didn't have a big early number either, but you'll see it start to populate. If the chips are there, that wouldn't surprise me. You had Micron earnings, and of course, you have AMD moving. And the one name that we could expect something on, because it is going to report, is going to be Nike. But as they come in, TLT is the biggest at 2.4 to buy, Intel 1.5 to buy, Under Armour 1.3 to buy, Apple 1 million to buy. This is all buy side. SoFi's 900,000 to buy. Looks like it should be pretty decent to the buy side. I haven't gotten the number. 2.2 billion to buy from Brendan is the overall number, and that's reflected by seeing some of the big names up there. TLT doesn't really matter, but as I said, like Apple's a big one. Let's see what Apple's doing here, as that's still trading at VWAP. So Apple didn't move there, but it's still pretty strong in the afternoon, kind of holding that VWAP and up into 195. Apple was a sell pretty much most of the day. It was a good short, but the buys have come back in. I think they pulled the rug yesterday, only to rip some faces off today, because the strength in crypto, the strength in the overall NASDAQ. Like, I'm seeing Apple down 0.02% and at VWAP at the same time when the NASDAQ is more or less testing the 830 high. In 10 handles, we're going to be where we were at the top after we got that GDP and jobs data, which is wild. So 1.1% to the upside on the NASDAQ and about 0.9 on the ES. Kind of frustrating not to be able to get out of these shorts because the market's flying here. So if short side are working, what can you do? But I think it was yesterday. It could have been a bear trap, but that remains to be seen. This is one day of, I guess, pulling back in, and we're not even at those highs. Yes, it's a recovery to today's highs, but you're still off a bit from where things were at the top yesterday's trade. But the Santa Claus rally starts tomorrow. Statistically, remains to be seen whether we get it. I can tell you tonight, I don't really care what happens between the Saints and the Rams. I care what happens between Alvin Kamara and Williams, the running back on the Rams, because in the semifinals, that's who I'm facing.
But you have Kamara.
I got Kamara.
Yeah,
He's got
Kyren. Yeah,
Kyren Williams. That's
Kyren's going to go off, I think, but they both.
Well, that's
could.
the problem.
They both could. So, okay, yeah. Welcome once again. Let me know when it's ready. We have, some of these guys back there are.
Got any eggnog?
Yeah, whatever you want. Sure. No, we don't have the eggnog. No, I was going to show everyone. There it is. There's everybody chilling. There. Hey, Yannick, there's Patty Ice. Give a wave.
There.
Give a wave.
Yannick.
Patrick.
Wave.
There we go. They're all there. So everybody's kind of just hanging out right now. Thanks, guys, for that.
Do you see the gray hand that just put his hand up there?
Is that Obi?
No, that's Wayne behind the desk. Want to shout out
nice
this. Wayne, the most recent graduate on the floor. He graduated. He didn't realize it, but he graduated yesterday. Yeah.
So perfect.
So Wayne graduated yesterday, gave him the congratulations, fantastic. He's a great dude, he's been checking in. Brankles is off, the floor manager, so he's been the assistant and doing a great job as always. But with just about a minute and a half to go until these imbalances, maybe they flip, maybe they don't, but there was a 2 billion buy side and the market is flying into the top. My gut tells me we get to that high in the NASDAQ, and then at 55, everything flips, or at least pairs off, and you probably back off a little bit on the future.
Yeah, so you guys asking to graduate, it's $2,000 lifetime, right? That's it. I don't think it's nothing too crazy, but congratulations to Wayne. It is a big step for sure. So, and we'll hope to get some more. I think that's 2 now on the floor with Max and Wayne. So that is cool. We'll get some more. Okay, let's go. Not much to do. So let's look at those imbalances. Like I want to trade, and I'm getting antsy not trading here. But you know what am I supposed to do other than just wait for these orders to fill after market, and then that will be that one right now. All right, I know Neil's gone over some of these, but let's just have another look. Intel is a buy right there. What was that total number again?
2.2.
2.2 billion. Okay. SoFi. Oh no, Neil, you better not be patient one. It's already Ramin is patient one. We've already determined that. Intel right now bid. Yeah, it's all good. Intel with a bid move. SoFi is taking out that high. We were going to wait anyways on this trade for SoFi up to 70, so that's coming close now as that's going to the upside. It's too bad. Like we would have already taken many of these out. And that's about it. I do want to say to everybody, obviously stay late with this, but I'm not going to be on the show tomorrow. So happy holidays to everybody. Celebrate it obviously with the ones you love and eat the best food you possibly can. Drink if you want to. We'll be, I also want to say,
enjoy time with the family.
Yeah, exactly. Just enjoy time. I want to say thanks, Raheem.
We've got this.
I've got back to back. So like tomorrow I'm off, going to come in for the pod. Tonight we have a game at Ford Performance Center. That should be a lot of fun right there. It's where the Maple Leafs and the new PWHL team practices. And then tomorrow we'll be in for the pod, and then I got to go up to Leaside for another game. So we'll be filled up with some hockey a little bit there. Yeah, Leaside. And then, yeah, it should be a little bit of a fun weekend. A couple of things planned. Parents going to come over and my brother and whatnot for Christmas dinner, which my wife will prepare, which should be a lot of fun. I'm sure I'll be there too. For me,
hopefully you'll be there.
Preparing, I meant to say. The thing is, she likes to cook and is like, I want to stay out of her way. I'm more of like a roast beef guy, not just roast beast. But my preference is always beef. Others are turkey. If you could choose one or the other, what would you choose?
Scallops. No, we're not big turkey people either. We don't really do turkey. I love roast beef. That's generally my preference.
Yeah, that would be my preference.
Sometimes, like my wife does love to do ham, like is a bit of a traditional sort of thing. Yeah. So we'll usually do one of the two. I'm pretty easygoing as long as I get some pie. It's it's not going to matter. Do I get some canned cranberry, and then is there going to be any apple pie or pumpkin or whatever kind of pie? It really doesn't matter.
You know what tastes great with ham? Pineapples. On top of your ham. Seriously.
No, that's okay. See, look. Now the thing about pineapple is just on pizza. I have no issues with pineapple and ham.
Yeah, pineapple on ham is great.
But at the end of the day, as long as you're with family,
steak and potatoes. I like that one, Angel.
I can eat steak and potatoes.
Angel Fonseca, I'm coming over. Text me. We're doing steak and potatoes. Hell yeah.
Let's go.
My son is like, loves that steak, man. The problem is, man, my son, it's like every restaurant we go to, it doesn't matter which one. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Baxter, forget about Baxter. Baxter
eat anything.
Baxter eats at a house at home. It doesn't matter. I remember when I started raising my stepson Baxter, basically, when I was 24, he was 3. And we used to go out and we went to like some hoity-toity places and I would bring Baxter. This guy was ordering like lobster mac and cheese. Yeah. And I had just started, like I'm 23 years old. And anyways, so now
that was the best.
Now mac and cheese, lobster mac and cheese.
That was the best thing to order at that. I forget the name. No,
I forget what it was.
At that hotel. It was.
I wasn't. It was down. It was Bymark or something? I don't know. It was somewhere.
No, it was there. What I remember the most, and this is a shout out to Baxter, because I remember we went to one of those dinners, and I think Marissa was there, and you brought, and this was a little bit later on, but Barron was just a baby.
Okay.
And I remember
Affirm,
we're
by
at
the
the
way.
dinner, and Barron is starting to cry, and Baxter, I don't remember how old he was, but he wasn't very old at the time. He stands up and he starts walking the baby around to get the baby to go to sleep. He couldn't have been more than 10 years old.
Well, he's the best.
10, 11. So but shout out to you, Baxter.
Yeah,
He's
he
always
has a great father.
Yeah, he's just always been like a.
So you can start to
good
get
heart.
out of your orders now. I'm
can we
actually
get out?
getting out of these orders right
Okay.
now. So I feel like let's just get out. So we are getting out of some Affirm right now. So we just started to get out of that. Thanks for the update, boys. All these orders are now able to fill. At least I'm using BYX. I don't know if anything else is filling right now again, but there we go, man. Let's spin the money for Affirm. That's going to be a good one for me for sure, and I hope it's a good one for you.
No.
It might not be every gateway.
Okay,
I'm
it's
just
not
letting
every
you know
game.
that.
I got out of Coinbase, but then.
There we go. I'm getting out of SoFi. You can get out of everything. Just use BYX.
BYX is working.
I'm literally punching out of everything as we speak. So that's going to be a good one. We'll still be here, man. So it's going to be a good day for me. But we are taking some hits as, of course, Intel goes all the way back up to the top again right now, going up against us. But we'll just get out, and we're getting out more and more and more. I'll take out an 09 right now. And I apologize, but we've given a little bit back, but we probably should not have. It's just what am I supposed to do? We're getting out of all these positions with only a minute left. You're going to have to delay the closing recap show a couple minutes because I do need to get out of these positions.
Yeah, just come back over. I only had 2 positions to cover. Coinbase, it'll be a fluke. I never would have held it to 167.70. Let's be real. With only 1 minute to go, I'd probably take it out for the buck when we get the opportunity to. So it's going to end up working out. Nikola, I ended up with an odd lot because of a stuck order. So I'll be in the odd lot, but that's fine. It's a penny stock. I'm really not concerned about it at all. As I said, it's an odd lot because I had a stuck order out there, so it's not letting me get out of the odd, but that doesn't matter. It's Nikola. It's 83 cents, but the countdown is on. I'm a bit late there. Ring it right now. And the market is closed.
All right.
I was just double checking the orders. There's nothing I can do about it. I have the stuck order on Nikola, as I said, so I am in an odd lot in that position, but it's a penny stock, and it's less than 100 shares, so it's really not going to matter. But the market did fly into the end of the day, so shout out to anybody that did have some things that were long. AMD does not break that 140 level, it doesn't look like, but it got to 139.98. The NASDAQ closes 1.08 to the upside. There we go, 1.08 to the upside. We got the ES 0.9 to the upside, so we do have a chunk of yesterday pull back in, but we don't end up breaking through that 8:30 data high that we had this morning. You had economic numbers this morning that took us to the top. We don't actually break it out. I think if we break that out tomorrow, you've got a lot of shorts that are offside that were aggressive going into Wednesday's trade. So it is a wild one. It's kind of it's not a rip your face off rally, but for a couple of individual names. You saw the way Riot was going to the upside. You saw what Coinbase, despite the fact that those pulled back at the end of the day, big strong moves that were happening without BTC. But it's all about AMD when I look at trading tomorrow, because that ended up the strongest name on my board. Shout out to everybody. We appreciate you. Shout out to Ram and Fabian on the 1s and 2s. As always, doing a fantastic job. We had Adara and Sharif talking futures, ETFs, on the midday show, giving you your education. As always, Brendan doing a fantastic gig. And we had Frank this afternoon, always a great guest dropping knowledge. And then this morning, I want to shout out and thank Raheem Alani, not just for the fantastic gifts, but dropping a bit of knowledge as well on the Canadian markets and opportunities there. I'm just looking on over to see if we get a bit of a thumbs up. You know who I am. You know where you're headed. It is the market recap. Shout out to some Nike earnings. We got the Grinch at the desk.
There we go. Welcome to the Market Recap Show. And I am Sean Cattina. And today we're all Grinched out because tomorrow we are not here. And we thought that we'd get a little festive with everybody today. So welcome to the Recap Show. We have Tammy coming through, the Fibonacci Princess. That should be a lot of fun. We have a couple cool tweets to go through. And we have on deck for you Nike earnings. We're very, very excited to see where that one goes. But hey, welcome to the show. The board can go up at any time, and there it is right now. It's sector recap time. Where is Santa Claus? Well, I think he came early, maybe one day early. Santa Claus rally officially starts tomorrow. Let's take a quick look at the board right now and what was moving around today. Well, it's all about UNG. It's not gas, baby. Up 6.3%. A good read this morning on Nat Gas coming through. Let me just load up a few things here. I want to welcome everybody in to the recap show. Again, we will do a quick little roll call eventually, but UNG today, nice little move back up to the upside. There it is. And it's been absolutely destroyed over the last little while. You can see with this warm weather, I mean, here in Toronto today, it's -2 right now. So it's a little bit cooler, but it was like 5 or 6 degrees this morning. Like I was like, what? And then tomorrow it's supposed to be pretty warm as well. And we're supposed to get rain, 9 degrees Celsius. That's like 50 Fahrenheit or something coming on Christmas Day. Global warming, I don't know, but either way, UNG right now getting hit and making new lows pretty much every day. But today, a nice little bounce back on that 10:30 Nat Gas release. TAN working out, pretty good again today. As we'll watch out for names like Enphase going back up to the upside. We did have an interesting move today in CCL. We will talk a little bit about earnings as well. CCL up 6% today on Q4 sales of 5.39 billion, beating 5.30 billion. So slight little beat sends this all the way back up to the upside with an EPS loss of 7 cents versus a loss of 13. So Carnival doing much, much better. But what was red today? Only one sector? You know, yesterday we only had 2 green sectors. And you could flip-flop them. Yesterday it was the TLT that was green. Today it's red, and that's it. We don't have anything else. We have a little USO down here. Hey, I don't mind USO today, only up 0.4. We had like what I could see was the lowest gas prices I feel like this year. I saw yesterday on the road at 131 Canadian a liter, about 4 liters in a gallon. So still way up there for us, but the price is definitely coming down. We had SMH today going through. I do want to say this show is brought to you by Benzinga, I don't know if the show is brought to you by them, but we do have Benzinga report here. I will get all the news. If Nike reports, it will come out here. All the news flowing here on Benzinga. I want to thank them for that. I also want to thank our friends and Michael Noss and everybody else at Trade Ideas. Anything starts moving here in the aftermarket, I'll reload these. We have races to go here in the aftermarket. So if anything pops in here, we'll be able to see immediately. Right now, not much, man. Mercy, PAVE-M, Unit. So not really anything popping off here today. All right, what else indices do we want to look at? Let's check out silver. Nice little move up for silver. This has been going, we had Frank Kaberna come on. We talked this morning a little bit with Raheem about commodities as we go. I got to take a sip of this. Sounds like a gong show around here. Thank you so much for that, Ramin. And you know what? Shout out to China. Holla, yeah, shout out holla, says Ramin. Right there, holla, holla, holla to anybody in FXI. I don't know if this is ready to be bought yet, but what's going on here? I zoomed in, I zoomed out. Let's go to a weekly chart on the FXI. Okay, so again, FXI yesterday gets hit a little bit. Now, there was some talk yesterday late that President Xi had said some pretty powerful things about not giving up on Taiwan. So people, I guess, sort of put 2 and 2 together. Although I feel like that news was weeks old and just brought to life yesterday for some reason. So there was not any confirmation on anything like that. But today, FXI, I feel like on potentially some sort of like pushback on that story. FXI, nice move up 3.5%. You know the name that's the most interesting to me out of all of these? Why can't I just zoom in? Like I'm rolling this thing one way, the other, not working out. Let me just call it like this. Look at Alibaba. Come on, man. I want to zoom the other way, Michael Noss. There we go. Okay. So Alibaba right here. Come over to the screen if we can, just real quickly, and we'll look at this daily chart. So look at Alibaba. All right. Definitely a lot of traders right now are looking. I'm still looking for Nike, by the way, guys. I have not forgotten anybody on Nike. All right. This is a nice little whoosh down. We've had various CMTs on here all talking. AAR is out, not Nike. Look at this. There's a smiley face. I like that. We smile at those trades. But the thing is here, I don't want to go long right here. This could be a good long for sure. I'd rather wait for confirmation of the break of this 50-period moving average. To me, I'm getting close. Like, if we could make possibly a trade of the year, and by the way, we're going to go through some Sean tweets. You guys gave me some great ideas on what we're looking for next year. I'm almost thinking that if there was some way I could get the all clear that China's not going to go into Taiwan or do anything like that, I really like Alibaba right here. I feel like, man, this needs to turn around. Alibaba was one of Charlie Munger's biggest holdings. So, hey, if a mind like that likes Alibaba, and I believe it's... is it Dan Loeb? We have a few more things to go today. Another big holding, or is it Bill Ackman? One of them likes Alibaba as well. We'll find out about that. Probably you guys in the chat can help me out with that. We'll do a little bit of an early roll call. Why not? It's my show. All right. What's up to Boris? What's up to Mr. Mendoza's here? What's up to Jacob? Pro Day Trader, Pro for Profits here. Hugh is here. What's up? Yeah, you know what? I did empty out of some Snapchat. What I wanted to get at here was, shout out to everybody. Let's just go over to my Twitter account here quickly. I want some more opinions on this. Anybody watching right now? How many of you are watching? 2,600 watching right now. A little light. We are also right now, look at this. We're streaming live here on X, baby. So that's really fun. Thank you for everybody watching. An amazing 12 viewers on X, so that's great. I feel like I talk to more people at my you see what I mean? This is what I'm doing. This is why we have fun, man. Traders stay late. This is our show. This is your show. You know, you want to watch? Let's watch, man. Let's roll. I want to get some names here. What is the one name? Shout out. This is why we're doing this, man. We're going to be on the podcast moving forward. We're going to have a lot of fun. And this show is a lot of fun. There's not a better market recap show out there. Look, where are the producers? We don't have producers in our ear. I call up our own graphics. Well, sometimes I do. But not today, not right now. But anyways, the idea is, these are all our own ideas, man. Calling up our own graphics, doing our own work. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe. I'm here for you, traders stay late. I want to know this. I'm going to be reviewing this, and I want to actually put something together. What is the one name or idea? So it could be an ETF, it could be Bitcoin, could be gold. I want to know, what do you think works from these levels? I'm not saying what if this happens. If you could put on a trade right now heading into 2024 and you could hold it for a year, what are your trade ideas for 2024? Actually, you don't have to hold it for a year, but what are you looking at? Let's see. Nate right here likes PLTR. I like that one as well. You could either go long or short the spiders. Yep, that's true. You could definitely go long or short. I like CCL. And Joseph, you said this 18 hours ago, and CCL starting to moon. There was a couple ideas that I liked in here that I saw earlier. TDOC, very interesting valuation. Rumble, I'm going to say no to Rumble, but I think DWAC and Rumble are positions based on President Trump running again, and it looks like that's going to be a go. So right now, those are good ideas. A couple Alibabas on here, Chewy or PayPal. I'll review these tomorrow, and we'll talk about those on the podcast. So is Nike out? Shout out to everybody here. Baba, the boring man, says Baba. Redna says, let's go, Sean. I wish we could buy stock in Trader TV Live, because you know where Trader TV Live is going? To the moon. You can't even see where we're going. Baba, Unity, Tesla. Okay, not the time now. Actually, you know what? If you don't put it in on that at Trader TV Sean, I'm not going to see it. So, all right, that's Alibaba right there. Let's go see if Nike came through. Nope. Not Nike yet. I'm going to change this over to a 1-minute chart, get a little bit of a better look. We do not have Nike earnings yet. Let's just peruse this Benzinga Pro quickly here. Yeah, that was fast. Nothing on here that I like. Not one of these names worthy of talking about it right now. We do have Tammy coming up soon. It's going to be the Fibonacci Princess. When that's locked and loaded, we'll call on her. We do have a couple tweets that we want to go through today as well, but this is Carnival Cruise. Nice move up for them today. We could talk a little bit about these numbers that hit earlier, because this is generally where we'll start to talk a little bit about earnings plays. We're coming to the end of the earnings cycle, right, for many of the major names, but we'll kick it off again coming up very, very soon. It was CCL's Q4. Okay, so their Q4 came out right now. That's, again, starting to go with Q4 now with Carnival. So their numbers, again, beats on sales and beats on EPS. -7 cents versus -13, for Carnival. Their Q1 outlook adjusted EBITDA of $8 billion. So they're looking to get a loss of 22 cents versus 12 cents. That's not very great right now year over year. But net yield projected up 16.5% year over year. That's a beat. EPS looking to be in line forward year 24. So that's going to be good. CCL right now goes right back to summer highs. And again, normally you get upgrades when you beat. I could see CCL tomorrow getting flooded with a bunch of upgrades. And you know what that means for this guy? We're going to punch this long probably tomorrow. CCL coming up. We're always looking for catalysts, right? So here on CCL, if I can zoom back out a little bit right here, just to see what we're talking about. So CCL tomorrow. Tomorrow's trade today. Breaking news? Nah, not really. All right. I think this could be a trade here tomorrow. Maybe I can zoom this out just a little bit more here on Carnival. There it is right now. You know what? I really think this break of 1970, maybe 1960, if that starts to go and we get the catalyst of upgrades tomorrow, I think this CCL trade could work. And shout out to my friend Daniel Shea as well. This would be a good options trade. Danielle was on the show, by the way, and okay, we kind of credited each other with it, but it was this break right here of Affirm. It was down here, and they had a good report, came up to 18 bucks. Danielle was on the show, and I said to her, what about when we break through this $20 level? And I'm pretty sure she had an options play for everybody. That ripped all the way to 26. That was well done. Obviously, if you can get $6 on a break like that, that's worth taking. So there's Affirm, and you can see the rest is history. Now, if you want an options play, it's too bad. Danielle hopefully will be back on in the new year. I think Affirm pulls back into here somewhere. I said we'd have a $30 handle. I still believe that for Affirm, despite it making a move back up there today. So CCL tomorrow, I definitely like that for a trade. Let's go over and quickly look at Nike again. So Nike's not out yet. If Tammy's ready, I can actually call her because, one sec, okay. Because I gave Tammy a little bit of homework, and that was, let's look at some levels for Nike. So we'll do that when she comes on. We'll see if they can hit or miss. I feel like Lululemon, although they missed on their report, they were bought back. And now look at Lulu, just to give us an idea here of Nike and where we could go. Here's Lulu right now. Lululemon, let's call up a weekly chart. If we can go over to the screen quickly. Here's the weekly on Lululemon. It took out all-time highs, and they actually faded back down on earnings. Take it out, now back up to 515. Lululemon really starting to work now to the long. So we'll see if Nike can come out. I feel like their report is imminent. It's probably out right now. Looks like Nike up to 126 and then back down to 120. The high that we're looking to take out here for Nike would be 130 right here. 200 period moving average back down to 109. So let's watch out to see what Nike, okay, the numbers are out. I'll call on Tammy in just a second. So sorry about that, Tammy, bear with me. It is Nike, it is out right now. It's 103 versus 85. So that's a beat. So we'll go bang on that. Here, this is now breaking news, right? I'm allowed to hit this right here. All right, it's enough. All right, breaking news on Nike. Although Fabian, I really do like that banner. That's a great, what do you call those things? Bumpers? Yeah, bumper. Okay, yeah, we'll go. Stinger. Okay, I like that. Shout out to Stinger right there. I don't know what I'm doing. Sales right now, 13 billion, 13.3, beating the estimates at 12.4. So it looks like we're going to get a good one out of Nike right now. But hey, you know what? I feel really excited about our next guest. It's her second time on the show. It's Tammy. Let's bring her on. Hi, Tammy. I have to apologize for my lack of professionalism today, but I'm not in tomorrow. And yesterday, we robbed the market on a little bit of shorts there. So we kind of felt a little grinchy coming in today. And then we hit shorts again today, and we doubled it up. So far, so good. Happy holidays. I love the earrings.
Thank you. I just got back from my youngest daughter's Christmas party at her school. So, and I love the Grinch sweatshirt, by the way.
Thank you so much.
My kids love the Grinch. I don't know why kids are so obsessed with the Grinch, but they just love it.
I mean, it's a great story, you know. It's kind of like a Christmas Robin Hood. Okay. So I took tomorrow off because my kids' Christmas, it's not a party. What is it? It's concert. Well, they call it a holiday concert now. So they're performing, and I believe they're just singing generic Christmas songs. What was your kids, daughter, son, what were they performing, and how was the Christmas party?
It was fantastic. Yes, they did. It was almost like a play, and
Oh, okay.
during the play, they did different songs. My oldest daughter goes to a Christian school, so of
Okay.
course it was all centered on Christmas and
All right.
birth of Christ.
Well,
So.
no problem. Well, it's the big man's birthday in just a couple of days, so we'll be celebrating that around here as well. All right, so we just got Nike earnings, and actually, if we come over to my screen quickly here, Ramin, look at Nike here, Tammy. We're starting to fall back into 117, 118. I'm guessing the guide was not great, but we're not here to talk about what their guide was or what the numbers were. Let's look at some levels. What do you have for me on Nike?
Well, because I don't use post-market data, I don't have the ability to look at what the pullback levels are going to be yet.
Okay.
But it sounds like if you're giving me those numbers, they're going to really align well with.
So right now we're printing 118.50 right now.
Yeah, I mean, if we come off of that high, that more recent high, look, I mean, that gives us 120 there. That gives us 120. That looks like it might be about, 119.
Okay.
Yeah, so it looks like we're going to have a lot of levels coming in around.
So what exactly are you doing? What exactly are you?
120 area. I'm sorry?
So Tammy, just in order to try to get everybody on the same level as you, basically, explain what you're trying to do now, trying to figure out some of these levels. What Fibonacci maybe would you be looking at? What kind of levels for this kind of a move down, as right now it's still bouncing around 118?
Okay, so basically what I'm looking at is if that high is still in place, that previous high is still in place, which it was actually that middle one there.
Okay.
What I'm looking at is I am looking at previous swings in the market to see where we will have something called symmetrical support. Symmetrical support is 100%, is the 1.0.
Okay.
And so a lot of these smaller swings we're seeing here, those are kind of getting somewhere around that 118, 119, 120 level. And it looks like we have a lot of them, right? I mean, look at all of these previous swings that kind of set up into that level. So I'm really, from looking at this, I'm really liking that level. If that high is in place from yesterday, then that would basically kind of be our setup zone there, anywhere from probably 118 to about 120. Now it could dip further down. We've got some of these swings that are much larger. That one comes in around 116. This one comes in around 115 or so. Let me do that real quick again because I grabbed the wrong high.
All right. Yeah, we're back.
Coming in around 115. So it can come and hit support at any of these levels. What you want to do once you get those levels
Right.
is you want to look at some sort of indicator or trigger to tell you that that low is in place. Now, if we get up in the morning and Nike has already bounced overnight, you can look at these levels that are above us as places that it may stop. The move may halt, and we do get a pullback.
All right. So
the low from the 28th of September, as long as it stays in place, that's way down here at the bottom. These levels are going to still be good.
And you just nailed something there a little bit. And I feel like you never want to just rely on a simple indicator, right? And it's like one single indicator can often give you sometimes bad reads, and not every indicator is going to be exactly correct all of the time. So I feel like mixing a couple together, I prefer using just simple moving averages on a daily chart. So I feel like any pullbacks into the 200 is something to look at. Is there anything that you sort of coincide before you'd put on a trade? Obviously, you're going to be the Fibonacci princess, but is there anything that you're looking at as well to give you that confidence to say, okay, that's lining up on this and also with this indicator as well?
Yes, I use a couple of different, I use several different things. I use something called Ready, Aim, Fire. I use something called the Squeeze.
Wait a minute, Ready and Fire? What is Ready and Fire?
It was, from what I understand, it was basically invented by a guy named David Starr. And basically it kind of shows you when the arrows start to build, we're getting ready to fire off of this level.
Right. Well, fire off then. I mean, I'm thinking about RSIs, overbought, oversold areas as well.
Absolutely. That is part of the component component of ready, aim, fire.
Okay, homework time for all the viewers. Go look up some ready and fire and then get locked and loaded with that one. All right, you told me that there was an interesting trade developing or setting up anyways, and it was Marathon, MPC. So if you have a second, which we do have a couple more, why don't we go over what that's looking like and maybe why you're looking at it?
Well, I'll tell you why I'm looking at it in the first place. Okay, so my stepfather, he loves to trade. He is retired, of course, so he has lots of time on his hands to trade and look at things all day. And he has actually started using, getting this AI service that puts together a lot of different things, and they send him the top 10 stocks they're looking at. And so he emailed me today and he said Marathon was one of the ones, was the number one, and he was looking at it and he wanted me to run Fibonacci levels on it for him. And I said that I really liked this stock because we're above that 200 moving day average, which is that pink dotted line down here. We're above the 50, and the 5, which is the blue line, is above the red 13. So all the moving averages are on the side of the bulls. The other thing I like about it is we're still inside of some of these previous swings that we haven't met the targets off of yet, okay? So you got those targets off of the 4th of October. Then you've got this other swing here where you've got those targets off the 7th of December. So now we're having a nice pullback into support, okay? And we want to, you know, maybe use some sort of an indicator or trigger or something to tell us which level is going to hold. But pulling back into support, and like I said, on that, you know, the AI thing that my stepfather looks like, apparently this is the number one stock for returns and beat the market for the next 3 months, is what his email said. So that was what made me look at this one.
This is one of the first, you're one of the first, you know, traders on our show where we've actually talked about using AI to give some, you know, trades. I know, but that's fine. I feel like that's where we're going. You know, I don't know.
Of course.
I mean, we use ChatGPT. I mean, we use AI all the time. And I feel like, honestly, the way I trade in the market, I had over 200 fills today. Sometimes I feel like a robot myself. And I don't like fighting any of those bots in the market. That is for sure. Okay, so MPC, we're going to go on that ready and fire, or what was it called again?
Ready, aim, fire.
Oh, that's right. Okay, ready and fire. We're going to be looking at that. Give me one.
It's on. Well, I don't know how much I can say here. Is there any like rule of me talking about any? It's on Thinkorswim.
Yeah, that's okay. That's fine. Okay.
Used to be TD Ameritrade, no longer TD Ameritrade, now Schwab.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Shout out to TD Bank, of course, here in Canada. All right, yeah, of course you could say that. All right, so it's an indicator that you could subscribe to, or it's available on Thinkorswim. So we'll check that out. It's probably available on many other platforms as well. All right, any sectors or anything that you're looking at for the new year? Like obviously MPC is going to be in energy there, petroleum. I don't know. You think NVIDIA can go up a little bit more than this? Any sort of semis?
Yes, I've got NVIDIA for you right here. What I like about NVIDIA is all the moving averages are on the side of the bulls, and we have not yet met the targets off of this larger swing, and we have gone through the symmetrical resistance of this swing up. So for me, the path of least resistance is for us to go up to those targets. You can see them listed right there. Target 1 is 532 and target 2 is 570. We did have a hit and hold of my support on the 4th of December, and we are still inside of that swing. You know, that's the small swing inside the large swing. And at the time, what happened was, as we were coming up, I told my clients, I said, listen, here's what I want to do. See, we had that resistance from that swing, resistance from this swing. And I don't want to talk over anybody's head, because if you ever come to my room, you don't have to worry about understanding this much. But what I told them is, when we get through that resistance, and we have a nice pullback like we did here, that is when I want you to get bullish. I want it to be path of least resistance is to go up to those targets, not possibly come up to resistance and then fail and make a deeper downside correction, right? So we got through that resistance. We had that nice pullback into support on the 4th of December. It held targets off of that swing are 520 and 539. But I tell you, you know, what I tell them is, if you miss that initial bounce from the 31st of October, then what you do is you use this closer risk to get into that larger swing trade. Now, so I'm saying the same thing now, okay?
Okay.
Now what I'm telling you is, if you missed the bounce on the 31st of October, the bounce on the 4th of December, now I've got some more support for you that's closer, so that you can use this as risk to continue the move up.
Right. That's exactly what we're talking about, a little bit of support levels right there. And I mean, I think everybody missed that bounce at Halloween there, late October, because honestly, nothing to me was really signaling that was the bottom. But isn't that amazing? We actually talked about this yesterday. I think it was the IWM made a record. It went from 52-week low to 52-week high in just 33 trading days. It's like insane that it can do that. 256 trading days in a year, and it just takes just over 30 to go from the top right back into the bottom. It's Trader Tammy1 over there on X. They can go find you. It's the Fibonacci Princess. Look, happy holidays to you and yours. Look forward to having you back on in the new year, and maybe even next week we'll talk.
That sounds great. And I hope everyone has very, very happy holidays and a very blessed new year. And I will look forward to seeing y'all again soon, Sean. And well wishes to your family. I know you have a nice, beautiful, big family. I'm sure you're
thank you so much.
Very,
thank you so much, Tammy. And same back to you. Thank you for joining me. That's Tammy, and that's Trader Talk. Man, I feel, again, maybe this is just, because we're in the holiday spirit, but we've had some great guests come on, and I'm really happy to add Tammy to that rotation. But you know what? I got a little bit of a problem. You know what that problem is? Now the guests are starting to stack up. So we got to try to find some places to get more. Maybe I should do this show for an hour. You want me to do this show for an hour? What do you think, Ramin? No comment over there. She wants to get out of here ASAP. You're quiet over there all of a sudden. A minute 25 left. Let's go. What do we got left here? It's Sean's tweets. Okay, let's go over that quickly. If you're going to go find me, it's at TraderTV Sean. I feel like you should do that, not only because I want more followers. I mean, come on. But also because I feel like the content's there. Hey, what's up? It's now 10 viewers, baby. We're live on X. Let's go. We lost 2 viewers. I'll do a better job. All right. So right here, what about this? Look at this, man. On Micron earnings day, can we get rid of my mug there? Thank you so much. That mug is like it's like a face. Yeah. All right, so if you invested in Micron $10,000 back in January of 2007, was that its IPO? I don't know, I feel like it's older than that. But right now, again, not a huge return, but you got to take it. Right here, 57,000, so a little 5X right there. We did get as high as 71. Micron has a way to go, but I just thought this was pretty interesting. Again, some traders, they get a little excited, and it's like, oh my God, I missed the boat, or I missed this, or I missed that. But you can see here, even after 15 years of data here, there was a lot of opportunities to get into some of these names, right? So again, sometimes it's about zooming out and making sure that you understand that there's a lot of opportunities. And please, the worst thing you can get is FOMO. As an investor, I feel like I do have FOMO a lot of the time, which is why I feel like I just got to switch it up and get into some ETFs so I don't have to worry about it. Funny thing, we talked about this a little bit with Tammy right there, from 94 to 2023. This has happened 52-week highs every single time, not every single time, but it was happened, yesterday was just the 8th time in the SPY's history where we hit a 52-week high and finished the day down 1%. So again, watch out for that to happen. Not often, but it does happen. You get a hit on the high, then a fade back down. Only 8 times in the history of the SPY. So that goes back to 94. So you do the quick math there, 30 years, it's happened 8 times, which again, 52-week highs are hit all the time throughout the year. So it's not a super, super common, appearance or occurrence, I should say. But here, what have traders been buying lately? So this is another thing. Going back over to that trade idea that I had on the tweet, what is your trade idea heading into the new year? I want to know. Warren Buffett, this is the funny one, man. Is this that looks like Atlanta Braves? What stock is that anyways? All right, so SiriusXM, Liberty Financial, we know he's always in financials. Look at David Tepper. He's a guy that I like, a couple Chinese names in there, as well as, of course, NVIDIA, Meta, Google, Microsoft. I'm not going to pretend to know all these symbols. Amazon as well. And then Dan Loeb, the thing that Uber once, Uber twice. So that's really good as well. And then, of course, I'm really surprised I only see Eli Lilly once. But anyways, find me. It's at TraderTV Sean. And if you were going to participate, what's up, Grok? Unfortunately, I'm not subscribed to Premium, so I can't do Grok right. Benit, what is your one idea that works? Go over and find it at TraderTV Sean, and we'll discuss it there on the show. All right, first of all, let's do this real quick. I do have a Thursday night play for everybody, so we're going to get to that. I haven't done this in a bit, so whoops, that's the wrong notes. I almost showed you something there. Hold on, Super Chat, here it is. All right. Shout out to Bears versus Bulls, my guy right there. I have failed this week, man. I haven't done it. I wasn't here Monday, but I didn't do this Tuesday or Wednesday. So we've got quite a list, and I'm not going to read it. So I'm just going to show it on right here. We're running out of time, honestly. And now that all right, let's go real fast. I have to do this for everybody. Gregory, LG Day, Evan 11, RG 20, Nick Dubb, Taz H, D Westermeyer, Corey, Willis, Addison, Adam DeLuz, Kunal, Diamond Realty, Eduardo, Burgos, Oil Nick, Hiron 22305, Fugazi Bear, Matthew Horton, Alex Enzo, Brent Roth, Chelsea, Ashley, Mark, Price, Diraj, thank you so much. Sailor Moon, I answered a question of yours today. That was a good one. And then new members, Barber, George, Andrew, Evan, Kevin, Reinhardt, and Carla. Mad love. Okay, now it's time, though. Let's do roll call. All right, who's here? Let me check the numbers on YouTube. 1,800 watching. Thank you so much. If you haven't hit the like button, do it pronto, please. Also, we do put this up. I think we should probably put it up as a podcast. We'll discuss that. But it's also up on YouTube immediately after this. So we'll put it up. We got to edit it, cut it out, and then find this recap show if you missed it. Listen to it on your way home or whatever. What's up, Henry Chung? He's here. The Grinch Meister. Yeah, the Grinch is in the building. We hit some shorts today. It was a good one. Thank you so much to Bristol. What's up? Let's go. Let's go roll call right now. Bristol's here. God Emperor's here. What's up to Zoltan? Hey, what's up, Zoltan? What's up to AK is here. You're always firing. What's up to Tom's Trades? What's up to M. Allen? Benton's here. Degen X. Yeah, you know Degeneration X, man. What's up to WWE as well? Hans Beer is here as well. Who's your favorite DX member? Mine's still Triple H, but I do like Shawn Michaels. Oh, I mean, there was so many good members, though. Kevin Nash. Yeah, you know what, Dewey? I don't want to say I'm the hardest working man on Trader TV Live, but if you're going to talk about hours, damn it, I need a raise. I'd rather give Ramin a raise. There we go. What's up, Ramin? Shout out to Ramin. There we go. That's what. See, I didn't even know she was going to that, and I said I'd rather get her a raise, and I actually talked about that. Ramin, you should be applying for one very, very soon. We'll talk about that after. All right, let's go. What's up to Ryan? What's up to everybody? All right, thank you for everybody joining today. All right, let's go. I did tweet. I actually emailed myself, so we got a couple pictures to show right now. I'm going to open up in a new tab. So we'll open up this in a new tab. All right, it is time right now. Let's go over. It's the Thursday night play of. Oh, we don't have it on there. Okay, we do have. You know why? It's the next one. If you take off that finite, does it show or you can't? That's it. Doesn't show. Doesn't show anymore. Okay, it doesn't matter. All right, here's the trade. Here's the play of the day. Sponsored by nobody. This should be sponsored by FanDuel or DraftKings or somebody. Hey, if you work, there it is. It's your TNF play of the day. Thursday night football. Many of you are in fantasy sports. My team sucks, and I'm out of the playoffs. I cheer on Neil tonight. He has Kamara. The other dude has Kyron Williams. I think Kyron Williams can outscore Kamara, but we'll see what happens. But my play today is Cooper Kupp. If you've got Cooper Kupp, it's been a hard year. But guess what? Look at this. The last 3 games, it's a touchdown. It's a touchdown. It's a touchdown. Cooper Kupp is waking up just in the right time for you guys. It's fantasy playoffs, and it's Cooper Kupp, and it's time to gamble, baby. Your play of the day on Cooper Kupp will be, do you think it'll be yards? Do you think it'll be anytime touchdown? Well, this is what we got here today. Receiving yards over 71.5. Well, let's see. What has Cooper Kupp done? 39, 115, 111. This looks pretty good. Receiving yards over under, right? 115. I actually like that. But this is my play for you tonight. It's an anytime touchdown for Cooper Kupp. Who else? Who else is Matt Stafford going to throw to? That's your play. It's plus money. It's plus 120. Shout out to Ryan. He likes Alvin Kamara over yards. I like Cooper Kupp. Anytime touchdown is plus money. I'm Sean. It's been a recap show. Look, I'm not in tomorrow, but I'm going to be on the podcast. I'm coming in. Spending all day with my kids. I'm going to their Christmas, it's called holiday concert. I keep saying party because that's what Tammy was calling it. Holiday concert. Then I'm driving in with my family. We're going to be here tomorrow, 4 o'clock. It's a podcast. Make sure you go find it. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple. There it is right there. We do have a podcast. What shirt am I wearing there? I have to change that. Oh, that's my red and black lumberjack with a hat to match today. All right, I'll see everybody tomorrow. Shout out to Juan Padilla and everybody in the chat. Thanks, Bears vs. Bulls. Thanks, Ramin, for staying late. It's Trader TV Live. I'm Sean Katina. Ciao.